Hi, it's Tony Marino, host of the super popular Newsmax Daily podcast, a rundown of the day's top headlines and top highlights of Newsmax shows and interviews you may have missed, plus some sports, stock markets, and even some yucks, all packed into about 20 minutes. Search for the Newsmax Daily with me, Tony Marino, on your favorite podcast platform, and check out our entire lineup of great podcasts, including Greg Kelly, Rob Carson, and Jerry Callahan at newsmax.com/listen.
Now.
You are about to hear the most interesting, informative, thought-provoking, and funny show in America. On air and on the World Wide Web. This is the Rob Carson Show.
This is the Rob Carson Show, and by the grace of God, it is finally Friday. Welcome to the show. Please come inside. I'm having a allergy attack. If you're watching me streaming, my nose is a little red today. I'm really getting kind of tired of this allergy crap. Really, honestly, just tired of it. I've had a couple of allergy attacks since I moved back here, and I don't know what the deal is. I've never been tested for allergies. I know I'm allergic to cats. There aren't any cats around, so it's got to be something to do with the fall and the whatever. The leaves haven't turned yet. Is this late? Is this kind of late? It's already the 10th of October. I'm not seeing a lot of leaves changing yet around here. Maybe it's because I'm not haven't been out in the countryside. I'm hoping to go this weekend to rural Pennsylvania, maybe to Lancaster County. Lancaster County is absolutely beautiful. My God, it is lovely. I wish that Pennsylvania didn't have so many idiots in government running the place. Otherwise, it would be heaven on earth. But unfortunately, there are a lot of idiots in government working there. Doug Mastriano is not one of those idiots. He's going to be hopefully running for governor again in the state of Pennsylvania. Maybe Pennsylvania will finally be able to pull its head out of his rear end as far as governments is concerned, because there's a lot of idiots in government there. I don't know if you knew that. Yeah, I thought I'd throw that out there. So last night I went to the Kennedy Center last night for the first time since I got back here. And, I feel like I'm bringing you guys here. And I just want you to know that I represented quite well last night. Because, I don't have time to have a filter. I'm not like catty, or I'm not totally unsophisticated. But, when I'm going to go out, I don't drink. I just want to kind of have some fun, right? So I go to the Kennedy Center, and I'm there for this really cool awards. It's from Nest Point Foundation, their American Exceptionalism Gala. There were all sorts of people there. I got to meet Harris Faulkner last night, Whenever I meet people who work for Fox and I say I'm from Newsmax, I always get this look like, oh. Well, but she was actually pretty cool, and I helped her off the stage, actually. She was wearing heels. And met her last night. Megyn Kelly was there last night. She did the award of the big award of the night to Pete Hegseth. And it's kind of interesting because Megyn Kelly gave Pete Hegseth his break on television. And so, look at where they are now, right? She's got this wildly successful independent podcast. She's also got a new channel on XM satellite radio, the Megyn Kelly channel, which is kind of cool. She's making money hand over fist like she's never done that before. And then, of course, Pete Hegseth is the Secretary of War. What is it good for? Absolutely nothing. Say it again. And he was great last night. Megyn did a terrific oratory last night. I got to hang out. I got to meet Batya Ungar-Sargon. And I'm going to tell you something. We had a great time. We got a big hug and everything. And she did a presentation last night. She's gorgeous, by the way. She is. Yes, I can say it. It's fine. She's gorgeous. And she had her hair up in this kind of bun thing going on, kind of that Amy Winehouse look going there. And who else? Oh, and I got to hang out all night with Andy Ngo. You know Andy Ngo? Andy Ngo is that guy, the journalist who's had the snot beat out of him by Antifa so many times. Like how many, like Evel Knievel. He's like the Evel Knievel of journalism. He's had all these bones in his body broken and everything. I ended up just chilling with Andy. We ended up, we started to head into the gala, and I'm like, he's like, hey, let's find a seat. I said, okay, let's find a seat, Andy. And so we went up, and we went up to the top row because there were some seats available, and went up there and sat next to Andy Ngo all evening. It was wonderful to talk to him, but I think he was a little taken aback because I'm a big admirer of his, just because he's a journalist, and I'm going to tell you, he's also I think he's got a little PTSD, to be quite honest. I mean, he's perfectly fine, but he lives in England now, and he's afraid to come to the United States because the left and Antifa beat the snot out of him. They tried to murder him a couple times. Nobody's in jail for trying to murder him a couple of times, and he went to the hospital, nearly died with a brain bleed, but nobody from Antifa is spending years in jail for trying to murder him. But I had a wonderful time hanging out with Andy Ngo. I put all these pictures up on my social media, mostly on the Twitter and Facebook at Rob Carson Show, if you want to see some of those pictures. But I had some fun. I go up and I'm, we go to the top row up here, and I figure, we're the top row, so these are the cheap seats. There's going to be some people up there, Walmart shoppers. I have no idea, right? So I walk up there and see this row of people, and they look very fine people, and I said to them, just for bleeps and giggles, I said, is this the Metallica concert? and they kind of looked up and smiled, like, okay, all right, sure. I didn't really say a whole lot. Turns out they were a big contingent from the Italian embassy. So I had all these Italians sitting around me, front row, in front of me, and then beside me, these great Italian people, right? And I ended up doing the Google Translate with them and talking. I've been invited to go to Cafe Milano with them. I'm going to go hang out at Cafe Milano with them. And I even exchanged a recipe with one of the guys because, I like to cook and everything. And we ended up having a hell of a time. And I'm a very vocal person, by the way. And they were talking about patriotism and obviously the big news about Donald Trump securing the peace deal and releasing the hostages. And on stage, Megyn Kelly brought it up and Pete Hegseth brought it up and others, Baccia brought it up, and I'm back here going, yeah, amen, and all this. And then at the end, I said to the Italian people who were in front of me, I said, I hope you apologize for me being so vociferous. And they said, oh, no, we want you to come to our events. We want you to be in the audience. So when Metallica comes to town, I might just call the embassy, see if they want to go see Metallica with me. But I really had a good time. I had a really good time last night, and I just I'll tell you right now, guys. I'm here to represent you. All right, I know I'm not. I'm like Mr. Smith's inbred uncle going to Washington D.C. and I've lived here before. But I was never, I was a music jock. And I wasn't a TV host and all of this. And I mean, I was chilling with the official photographer of the event. I'm like, they're sure they're going to be looking at the event going, who is this guy? Who is this guy having so much fun with all the guests? And just had a really good time. And we're going to do more with the TV show. I envision doing something kind of late night here in D.C. because late night's never been done in D.C. Generally, you got to go to New York. You got to go to L.A. And I got a studio right here in Old Town Alexandria. And we're going to have some fun with this. It is really remarkable. But I want you to know that I'm just I'm here for you to bring it to this city and give it to them a little bit. Give the people in power a little what for. And I had a very nice time last night. And I was well received. Because I walk up to people, there's a guy here, hold on, find what his name is. I just got a text from him. And he just wrote me. And I just walked up to him, and he's like, his name is Hamit or something like that. And he had this textured tuxedo on, so it had this patterned, really cool-ass kind of, almost like a Matador jacket looking tuxedo. And I'm like, oh, if I could pull that off. And I walked up and I said, man, that is a phenomenal tuxedo. And we just ended up hitting off, and I exchanged business cards with him, and I got a text from him this morning. It's like, hey, Rob, how you doing, man? Let's get together, whatever. And it was fun. It's not going to be your traditional relationship with Washington, D.C. You're not going to have me, we're sitting here at the whatever with the whatever, and we're talking about whatever. It's going to be, we're chilling with whoever. And you guys, like I said, you're here as well. It's been a long time coming. I lived in Kansas City for 12 years, 10 years. Those 10 years we went through hell together. Because when I first moved there, Donald Trump was running for president. And then when I left there, he had been elected president. I've never been in D.C. when Donald Trump was the president. So we're just going to have some fun. We're going to have some fun. I love it. I got to tell you, despite the allergies, I just... I can't imagine. If you would have told me a year ago that I would be here... I would have said, are you kidding me? here's what I was doing in Kansas City. Getting up, going into my studio, doing a show, going to the gym, going to 5 different grocery stores to make sure the wife and kids had the stuff they wanted, and then ultimately getting divorced. So there you go. So it's a remarkable time, and I know that I'm here for a reason. I know you're here for a reason, and like I said, I'm representing. Who do you know would walk up to the Italian delegation in a meeting at a big to-do with tuxedos and everything and say, is this the Metallica concert? It was just fun. Sorry, I'm in a good mood despite the sneeziness and the red nose. I'm in a very good mood. Donald Trump, of course, didn't get the Nobel Peace Prize. Here's these people. I tell you what, maybe I need to go to one of these. That's where I'll go next is wherever the Nobel Peace Prize is, and go in there and ask them if there's a Metallica concert, because those people could need an enema. I swear to God, these people could. They are so anal retentive. You couldn't pull a needle out of their butts with a tractor. Here is the Nobel Peace Prize Committee chairman announcing and giving a reason why Donald Trump is getting it.
U.S. President Donald Trump has repeatedly said he deserves the Nobel Peace Prize and he'd like to have it. He even said that it would be an insult to the United States if he doesn't get it. What does as a chairman of the Nobel Peace Prize Committee think of this, and how has this campaign-like
and where's the Metallica concert
activity by the president and his supporters, domestically and internationally, affected the deliberations and the thinking in the committee?
Get to the question.
In the long history of the Nobel Peace Prize, I think this...
Remember, they gave Barack Obama the Nobel Peace Prize when he'd only been in office a few months and he hadn't done anything.
...committee have seen any type of campaign, media attention. We receive thousands and thousands of letters every year of people wanting to say...
Yeah, but you only have one person in the entire world who's negotiated 7 peace deals.
What for them leads to peace. This committee sits in a room filled with the portraits of all laureates.
Yeah, probably pictures of Marx and Lenin
and that
Stalin.
Room is filled with both courage and integrity.
Sure.
So we base only our decision on the work.
No, you're so full of crap, actually. You're so full of crap. Because nothing against the opposition leader in Venezuela. She's a great lady, right? But she should have been second on the list. They tried to kind of critique-proof their decision by actually finding somebody who deserved it for a change, but nothing like Donald Trump. And I've got more on this coming up in a moment. Here's the number. It's 800-922-6680. This, my friends, is a Friday edition of the Rob Carson Show.
Portland is a mess. Their mayor must confess. It's a city overrun with thugs. We will hit them hard. I'm sending in the guard. They'll wipe out the crime and all the drugs. Listen up, Antifa. It's become my endeavor. Want you out of Portland forever. Gotta put this to an end. I promise you, Antifa, the National Guard will defeat ya. With their batons they will greet ya. You can bet they're not your friend.
He's a liberal. He's as left as Francis was, Pope Leo. From Chicago. People say that. They are saying that because he wants the border completely open. Dick Durbin is pro-choice, but Leo doesn't care. He will defend him and befriend him. At JD took a shot. Conservative, he's not by a mile. How did we wind up with another liberal pope? I'm talking Leo from Chicago. It's just like Francis. We will somehow have to cope and then get through it. How can we do it?
This morning, Pope Leo and the White House engaging in a thinly veiled battle over what it means to be pro-life.
If you want to hear someone slamming Trump, listen to Leo from Chicago. Pope Leo, Pope Leo, Pope Leo.
The hostages will be coming back Monday or Tuesday. I'll probably be there. I hope to be there, and we're planning on leaving sometime Sunday, and I look forward to it. And everybody I see is celebrating in Israel, but they're celebrating in many other countries too. A lot of the Muslim and Arab countries, they're celebrating. Everybody's celebrating. Everybody loves the deal. So it's a great honor to have been working on it, and as you know, it's all finalized and done.
Yeah.
We've had a lot of terrifically talented people. We've had tremendous support from UAE, Saudi Arabia. Qatar has been unbelievable. Egypt, as you know, and Jordan.
Yeah, it was a master class in how it's done. It was amazing. Of course, he didn't get the Nobel Prize, and here's the reason why. They chose Venezuelan opposition leader Maria Corina Machado, who no one is covering at all. But basically what happened was they stole the election just like they wanted to do here and like they succeeded in 2020, and they also did in Brazil with Bolsonaro. They did the same thing to her, and what the Nobel Prize Committee wanted to do is not piss off the world, particularly people who know the truth and recognize that Marxism and fascism steals elections, and so they wanted to soften the blow when they blew off Donald Trump, because they were not going to name Donald Trump. They were not going to give him the Nobel Peace Prize, because the Nobel Prize Committee are a bunch of country club elites, and we are the rabble. We are the riffraff. That's what it is. That's why he wasn't given the Nobel Prize, despite the fact that he has brought peace to now seven conflicts around the world. He has brought peace more than anyone in history, more than any human being in history. And the Nobel Prize Committee says it wasn't a snub, just bad timing. The 5-member Norwegian Nobel Committee made its decision on Monday, 2 days before the Peace Prize was struck, despite the fact, I don't know if you knew this, Donald Trump negotiated settlements between Democratic Republic of Congo, Rwanda, Cambodia and Thailand, India, Pakistan, Serbia, Kosovo, Egypt, and Ethiopia, Azerbaijan, and Armenia. But the Nobel Prize Committee is saying, the reason why we did not do this is because the agreement between the Hamas and Israel did not happen until today. You know, whatever, however they talk, this snotty country club B words. So, you know, whatever. You know, honestly, maybe we need to come up with our own Peace Prize. We'll call it the Metallica Peace Prize, or I don't know what it is. But maybe we need a Walmart version of the Peace Prize that actually acknowledges real peace when people do real things rather than country club elites who go to Davos and you know, fly around in private jets. Honestly, who needs to be a member of that club, right? I've never been a member of that club. I've never been a member of a country club. I've never thought of even living on a golf cart. So you out of your mind? Why would I want somebody bashing golf balls into my house and pissing in my bushes? Why would I want that? Really? I want to live on a golf course? Are you kidding me? Lee in Bel Air. Hello, Lee. Welcome to the Rob Carson Show. What's up?
How you doing, Rob?
I'm good. What's up?
Hey, got a new slogan you might appreciate.
What's that?
To piss off the Palestinians and Hamas.
Good. What?
It starts.
You're going to be careful with the language here? Lee, are you going to be careful with the language here?
You don't have to press the button.
Okay, all right.
My version is, from the river to the sea, forever Israel shall be.
Oh, okay. That was nice. I was worried about you there for a second, Lee, but that was delightful, actually. Thanks for the phone call, man. I do appreciate you. Here's something we did a few months back. Jim Gossett threw this together, featuring...
You are the greatest friend Israel has ever had in the White House.
Bibi and the president. Here we go.
You got a friend in me.
You got a friend in BB.
Jim Gossett.
The greatest ally Israel's had.
We'll work together, good times and bad.
That's why our enemies are so darn sad, 'cause you got a friend in me.
You've got a friend in me. Bibi, that was great. You want to do another verse?
By all means, Mr. President, go ahead.
You got a friend in me. I got a friend in BB.
We work together, that's what we do. There isn't anything I wouldn't do for you. Partners for life, you know that it's true, 'cause you got a friend in me.
You got a friend in me.
Just beautiful.
That was fantastic, Bibi. What song should we do next?
You're my best friend. Thank you for being a friend.
Why can't we be friends? The theme from Friends.
Yeah, there you go.
I got friends in low places.
Donald Trump talking about
Well,
Barack
maybe not
Obama,
that
who got the Nobel Prize for doing D-word for Richard.
He got a prize for doing nothing.
Exactly.
Obama got a prize. He didn't even know what he got. He got elected, and they gave it to Obama for doing absolutely nothing but destroying our country. No, he was not a good president. The worst president was Sleepy Joe Biden.
Big time.
But Obama was not a good president.
Are you going to do something with the
They
export?
gave him a prize. How many months after he won the election, then they gave him the Peace Prize, right?
It was right before he was elected.
My election was a much more important election.
It was, thank you very much. And it's ushered in an amazing time in history. Even old Martha Raddatz, the grizzled Martha Raddatz from ABC, said that that Donald Trump did a great job. This is the old grizzled Martha Raddatz, for God's sake. Listen here.
Tell us about the role President Trump played in bringing all of this about.
Well, Robin, there's no question that if this goes as planned, if we see those remaining hostages freed and Israel begin its withdrawal, it is a remarkable achievement, and President Trump most certainly deserves credit for his role. He has done this through diplomacy, pressure, and the sheer force of his personality and persistence. He dispatched diplomats again and again, made threats just in the last few days to Hamas, saying again if they did not...
This is really weird, because I think everybody was calling Donald Trump Hitler and a Nazi and a fascist a few days ago. You know, did you remember that? Did you remember that? Maybe they can't lie over this truth. Maybe they're realizing that the media is dead because they've spent so much time lying to you about everything. Tony Kinnett, Daily Signal, always a lively conversation on a Friday. Coming up next, don't go anywhere. As the weather cools, I'm swapping in the pieces that actually get the job done. Warm, durable, built to last, and Quincy delivers every time with wardrobe staples that'll carry you through the season. I call fall the great equalizer. You can put layers on. I actually like the way I look in clothes now, and Quincy has the kind of fall staples you actually want to wear on repeat, like 100% Mongolian cashmere from just $60. Classic fit denim, always good, and real leather and wool outerwear that looks sharp and holds up. I've got my eye on their suede trucker jacket. It's perfect for layering and looks really casual but put together. By partnering directly with ethical factories and top artisans, Quincy cuts out the middleman to deliver premium quality at half the cost of similar brands. Layer up this fall with pieces that feel as good as they look. Go to quincy.com/newsmax for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. Now available in Canada too. That's QUINCE.com/Newsmax. Free shipping and 365-day returns. QUINC.com/Newsmax.
The Democrats shut down and them all even town will be a gift to me. I see it as a firing opportunity. Let the layoffs begin. America will win. Just you wait and see. The Democrats just gave me an opportunity. Now I have a chance, along with J.D. Vance, to make us more waste-free. A federal budget cutting opportunity. The budget I'll reduce when thousands are cut loose. Less bureaucracy. I will make this another opportunity. This is a big time opportunity. I am sending troops to Memphis, Tennessee, 'cause it looks like Memphis could use some help from me. The mayor has done nothing to put criminals away. Memphis needs our help, and they need it there today. The city's run by Democrats who defunded police. They can't do their jobs or maintain the peace. I'm sending in the guard. Memphis needs it bad. Their mayor, Paul Young, that guy's really sad. Voted the most dangerous place in the USA. Wouldn't want to live there. Wouldn't want to stay. Sending in the guard. That goal, it was mine. Democrats in Memphis, listen to them whine.
today.
It is the Rob Carson Show on a Friday, and as we always do on a Friday, bottom of the hour, first hour, we have reserved a spot for this guy. Tony Kinnett, Daily Signal, also does a show at WIBC in Indianapolis. And Tony, I know you've been waiting for me to break the news to you. You haven't paid any attention to anything because you wanted me to tell you today whether or not Donald Trump got the Nobel Prize, and he didn't. I know you're shocked, Tony. But he didn't get it this year.
So actually, kind of ironically, you are actually the one who broke the news to me on that. I've been out of commission for like 3 days.
Really?
I found out about an hour ago that Letitia James had been indicted, so I just went through Christmas. So it figures that you would, give me a nice springtime bit of the plague with no Nobel Prize. Even the Washington Post thinks that Trump should get the Nobel Prize. I mean, come on now.
Tony, here's the deal. The Nobel Prize are a bunch of country club elite, Davos going, private jet, going vegan morons. Who wants to be a part of that club anyway? They gave Barack Obama one for doing nothing. Why the hell you even want it? We got to come up with our own Nobel Prize, our own Peace Prize. Tony, what do you think about that?
I like it. It's kind of like how the Dow Prize has replaced the Pulitzer. If you get a Pulitzer now, that's just like saying that you're illiterate and somehow made it into journalism.
That's true. That's exactly true. Well, obviously the Nobel Prize has nothing to do with peace anymore. It's a piece of something, but it's not. It's the Nobel Piece of Crap Prize is what I call it.
We all knew this was going to go this way as soon as they gave the Nobel Prize in chemistry to some guy from Palestine, and they're like, he invented a new molecule. And I looked it up, and he's like the 15th guy to invent this exact same molecule, and I thought,
And it has nothing to do with making up bombs and blowing up the Jews. It's really weird. Really weird.
Oh.
But
doing something and claiming it's your own, that's kind of a Palestinian kind of heritage thing, don't you think?
Yes, it is. So, it's kind of funny that the Nobel Prize is saying that it wasn't a snub, it was just bad timing because the peace deal in Gaza didn't happen until after they had already decided, you see. Even though he has ended long-standing conflicts between Congo, Rwanda, Cambodia, Thailand, India, Pakistan, Serbia, Kosovo, Egypt, and Ethiopia, Azerbaijan, and Armenia. The thing that really would have put him over the top is if he would have gotten this 8th peace deal by the time they made the announcement.
Just a hot take here. Don't you think that there might possibly be a year in which they slap out 2 of those things? I mean, there's no ancient ghost of Caesar here that's like, wait, you can't give out 2 prizes. People realize that the war between India and Pakistan could have cost over 1 billion lives, and that is the conservative estimate. 2 nuclear powers that were readying their rocket silos when Trump intervened. That's not worth something? Come on, at least give the man a coupon to Denny's. Come on.
You would think we could do something like that. There's a couple other things going on here. Turning Point USA is going to do their All-American halftime show to counter Bad Bunny. And this may be a good idea. I'm not going to watch Bad Bunny during the halftime. Screw that. I'm done with it. I'm just hoping that TBUSA can get a good lineup. They have mentioned Lee Greenwood, and I can't hear that song again. I can't hear that song again by Lee Greenwood. No. So he can't do the halftime. No. I mean, nothing against him. I can't hear that song anymore.
I really just want to see him, pull up. I want to see him pull up some real classic Americana rock.
Yes.
Is that okay? I know rock's not really allowed to exist anymore, I guess. It went through a weird indie phase and then cut off its genitals. But can we have some good rock again?
Dude, I said Metallica.
That's the most Super Bowl thing in history.
Metallica. What about Creed? I know Scott Stapp, he's got the underbite and everything. But Creed's got a great bunch of songs. Foo Fighters would be amazing. But I think Metallica.
Can You Take Me Higher during the Super Bowl?
Can you imagine?
I think I'd have to run out and get a tattoo. I think that would be what had to happen.
I swear. Well, I don't know. I'm not sure. TPUSA, God bless TPUSA. I just don't know what kind of lineup they're going to be able to muster. Who knows? We may get surprised. I don't know. But we need an alternative because I'm not watching Bad
As
Bunny.
long as it's not Lady Gaga or Sabrina Carpenter or some weird freak in drag, I'd say it's a win.
Yes. So the shutdown's still going on. 65% of the American people think it's on the Democrats. What are your thoughts on the shutdown? I talked to Byron Donalds yesterday. He said he believed it was going to end in the next 2 weeks. I believe possibly sooner, but there's no telling because, honestly, it was easier for Donald Trump to negotiate a peace deal with Hamas than get a friggin' continuing resolution with these idiots.
Yeah, I mean, and I think that more so that there is this very interesting phenomenon regarding the shutdown in the beautiful stank of the Beltway. Every day the shutdown continues, people care about it more. Everywhere else in the United States, people care about it less.
Yes.
So, I have forgotten more about the shutdown despite being in political broadcast media because I don't live in D.C., but they have naked people running around with the end is near signs all over them in Washington, D.C., and that's just Chuck Schumer.
That's true, and I've lived in flyover country for the last 10 years. And it really obviously we want our soldiers and everybody to get their paychecks, but the whole country isn't butthurt because I hate to tell you this, about 5 years ago they shut down everything in school, including our schools, churches, and small businesses, and people lost their businesses and people lost their homes, and nobody gave a rat's behind about them, Tony. So honestly, wah.
Well, and I'd say also this, that when you look at the situation regarding Mike Lawler coming up to Hakeem Jeffries and saying, fine, tell you what, I'm going to come here and offer you a 1-year extension on Obamacare subsidies. You can sign it right now. Only rule is it can't go to illegals. Hakeem wouldn't even pick up the piece of paper. No. So you can't claim to desire bipartisan whatever when the only bipartisan thing going on is Democrat senators voting on behalf of the Republican bill, except for all of the Schumer people in the Senate, and then, of course, over in the House, Hakeem won't even look at anything else.
Yeah.
They have no message.
Yeah. Well, it's hard to look at things with those dead eyes. Have you noticed that? Hakeem Jeffries has dead eyes. It's like
William Shatner's voice in a corpse. It's creepy.
And yesterday I made the analogy of Chuck Schumer as a gargoyle with osteoporosis.
Ooh,
I know, right?
He got some flavor to it.
He does. He looks
that
like a gargoyle.
If you put asbestos in a microphone, that's Hakeem Jeffries.
Yes. Well, the thing about Schumer being a gargoyle, instead of scaring away demons, he wants to attract them, and they're Democrats. So it's a completely different thing. So, did you hear yesterday? I saw Joe Kiernan on CNBC, and he did this. This is a 1 minute 28-second question for Hakeem Jeffries. I'm not going to play the whole thing, but this is not a question. This is giving Hakeem Jeffries a colonoscopy.
We're going to not pay our military. We're going to, not allow the government to reopen until the government open, and then going into the normal appropriations process. I mean, there wasn't a lot. Republicans had tried to do that to the Inflation Reduction Act or when people put Democrats in power. You'd be going crazy. You'd be going crazy about using it. And you're talking about the House. You've already passed this. The Senate is who we're talking about, and they have a bill.
Literally, a minute, 30 seconds of dressing down Hakeem Jeffries. It was fantastic.
I think the real reason that you're seeing this is that a lot of the media have already realized what congressional Democrats do not. There is no leadership in the Democratic Party whatsoever right now. No. You have either AOC or J.B. Pritzker, who I call Hefferson Davis, or you've got Gavin Newsom. I mean, I don't even know what they have, and midterms are coming. They are here. We are within the 14-month window, almost 13 months now.
Yeah.
It's do or die, and the Democrat Party is so on its deathbed. Even the media is like, okay, you got to own up to this at some point. They refuse.
Yeah. It's a death spiral into hell. Listen, we're going to take a break. Hefferson Davis, bravo. That is fantastic. Let's take a break and come back. More with Tony Kinnett on The Rob Carson Show. Hefferson Davis. Hey, guys, it's Carson. You know what's
Hear that, Mr. Speaker? That's your constituents. Good Americans in your own state will suffer the most if the ACA premiums expire. People will go bankrupt. People will get sick. People will die.
Yes, okay.
All because the Speaker chose to keep the House on vacation.
I can't understand why you wouldn't want to vote Democrat. They're so positive. They're just so optimistic and positive. Honestly, I got to tell you, and Tony Kinnett, you had mentioned that the Democrat Party don't have leadership, and the ones that they are the most vocal are just insufferable. Are positively insufferable. They offer nothing positive. The last 9 months, they've thrown a temper tantrum. They burned Tesla dealerships because about 6 months ago, Elon Musk was a Nazi. Not so much anymore. And they've continued this toddler-esque nonsense, and they think they're going to win the midterms.
I just don't understand what they think they're trying to do here. I mean, of course, they're doing political performative stuff, but what people have not understood in the last decade is that the influencer stuff really only works when you have something behind it. When you actually have something that you're trying to package to people, then they appreciate the advertising. But if you're just yelling and screaming, and then you say, okay, well, what are you yelling and screaming over? And they say, well, I just told you I'm yelling and screaming about the yelling and screaming. Well, then that's not really attractive. That's like offering someone a 50% off on a colonoscopy that's not even checking for cancer.
Yeah, just for good measure. Is not a good reason to get It's not a good reason to get a colonoscopy. And it's you've got all of this violent language the Democrat Party has been spewing for a decade now, calling Donald Trump a Nazi and Hitler and all of that and fascist, and now it's actually being scribed on the shell casings of those who have murdered people like Charlie Kirk, and there's no doubt about it whatsoever. The suspected arsonist in Palisades, who killed 13 people, he once shared an article, "Climate change will force a new American migration." He also, by the way, gave money to Joe Biden, a typical Democrat. He gave Joe Biden $2. I think he did it in installments. I'm not sure. But, it's the same old nonsense. It's a Democrat in good standing using Democrat talking points to commit an act of violence.
Now, you will see The Economist and Cato and other outlets that are compiling their political crimes. Yes. They will never mention this as a left-wing political crime. Just like they're not going to mention Pittsburgh, just like they're not going to mention the Nashville shooting, they're not going to mention a ton of crimes that typically come from those on the left. And then they'll try to gaslight the American people, like you said, while they're calling people Nazi, fascist, Hitler, phobic, whatever. And they'll turn around and try to tell people it's the right that's really violent. The Americans that are just going about their daily lives. And then they're shocked that people aren't coming out in droves licking their feet anymore. I mean, that age has passed.
Yeah, well, they don't have the media. The media, by the way, is dead. They don't hold sway. They think they do. I heard Martha Raddatz, grizzled Martha Raddatz, giving Donald Trump credit for the peace deal. And I've seen a little bit like Joe Scarborough the other day said, I'm trying to remember what he said. He said something positive about Trump. I can't remember what it was. But I mean, it's obvious, but at the same time, you got to kind of wonder if, and I saw this hinted on last night, if maybe the liberal media is finally laying off at Trump a little bit because they realize there's nothing they can do. I don't think they're doing that. They're going to still glom onto anything they can do to try to take him down.
Well, I mean, of course, but I think that you even have to see a moment of realization that the sky is, in fact, blue. And I think that a lot of these media enterprises, there is an element like, Jake Tapper will do this very occasionally. He'll come out and say, okay, well, Donald Trump didn't slaughter 8 million people. And it hurts him to say it. You see a vein pulsing on his forehead.
Yes.
He has to admit he hasn't poisoned the crops and the water supply.
Yes.
I mean, I guess, soft golf claps for you.
Yes.
Beat poetry snapping.
Exactly. Yesterday was kind of funny. I love it when Donald Trump gives the left a little what for. He opens up the cabinet meeting yesterday by making October 9th Leif Erikson Day in honor of Leif Erikson, a Viking explorer who traversed the Atlantic Ocean 1,000 years ago. And then also he said Christopher Columbus is back. He says, I'm hereby reinstating Columbus Day under the same rules, dates, and locations as it has been for many decades before. So there, he started off the meeting rubbing salt into the idiotic Democrats' open wound and butthurtedness about these white colonizers.
I think it just brings a beautiful contrast to what we actually spent the last 10 years doing. There were people, genuine, real human beings, that stood outside of campus buildings renting their clothes like sackcloth, like they're mourning some great sacrifice to a golden calf, all over Christopher Columbus Day, as though, oh man, I tell you what, that's really solved everything whatsoever.
Yeah.
And now we look back on that 10 years later, and it's almost hard to imagine that it happened.
Yeah.
But a lot of those people are still walking amongst us.
And then they chased the Native American woman off the Land O'Lakes butter container. So that's kind of colonization.
Yes.
But think about that. They got rid of the Native American woman on Land O'Lakes butter, claiming that, Christopher Columbus, pushed the Native Americans off their land. They erased the Native American woman on Land O'Lakes butter. It's so stupid. Oh, my God. It's so stupid.
I mean, again, as an actual tribal member, I do enjoy every once in a while looking up to see how much of American culture embraced Native American iconography, and it's almost all been wiped away, not by some super ultra-white colonialist or whatever, but by some blue-haired barista who once read a book that told her to lick her own feet. I'm just not impressed.
This is it. I'm thinking right now the Democrat Party is reaping what they sow because they turned over everything to Karen. And Karen is doing a faceplant. Karen is doing a faceplant in Virginia. Karen is doing a faceplant in California as the governor. Katie, what's her name? Katie Portley. Karen is.
Nice.
Karen is. Thank you. It's not as good as Hefferson Davis with regard to Jamie.
I knew you'd like that. That's a good one,
dude. That was beautiful. But yeah, Karen is over. I really think Karen is going down. But we got to run. Tony, as always, great to have you on the show. Where can people find your glorious podcast, web presence, all that?
You can find me on Twitter at TheTonus, TheTonus, if you're a sadist, and over on YouTube at Daily Signal.
All right, brother. Talk to you soon. Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show. So good. Hey, guys, it's Carson for Birch Gold. Let me be blunt. He's just so good. All right. Hello, everybody. How you doing? Are you having fun? I had so much fun last night at the Kennedy Center, and I didn't even think about it. I was walking in that top row, in the back row. Got Andy Ngo right here beside me here. We're walking in. We see a couple spots. I walk up to the guys. Is anybody sitting here? No. Is this the Metallica concert? And it turns out they're the delegation from Italy. They're the UN delegation from Italy, or not the UN, but the embassy. It was just cool. It was just cool. And I like I said, I've been invited to Cafe Milano on the 15th. On the 15th, I got an invite, so I'm going to go over and hang out with them. I told them I love Georgia Maloney. I said she kicks butt, So that was kind of fun. Let's see. We got Tom K. Conserva 1974. T. Willis watching. Lisa Johnson 15. Hail to the Redskins. There you go. Hail to the Redskins. Hell yeah. This is the thing. They also, the left got rid of Native Americans. Do you know why people have Native American mascots? Because they're intimidating. Because they're warriors. They wanted to pay tribute to them. But Karen was so butthurt. Well, you can't be using a Native American as whatever. Karen, Gladys Kravitz, you are the death of the Democrat Party, Karen. You are the death of the Democrat Party. Oh, my God in heaven. And you know what? As far as I'm concerned, I'm not going to go to the funeral. Let's see. Kimberly Wiederhold, Steve Job, not Job, Steve Job over there on the YouTube. And Mickey Hastings, hi, how are you guys today? Good. I know you said you're great. I can tell. I'm just listening to my monitor back here. I've got to do this thing. Bruce Radford, Columbus Day. Yay. Merlin Wizard. Hello. Good to see you there. Emmanuel DTAM. Good to see you there as well. All of you guys watching over on YouTube and Facebook. And we got Facebook. We got Squall White watching and Looney Tunes and all of that. Time to get back to the show. Here we go, kids. Here we go. Bing-a-dib-a-ding-a-dib, boom, boom.
You understand, there's no Antifa. This is an entirely imaginary organization. There is not an Antifa. This is no different than if they announced they rounded up a dozen Decepticons.
This is why Jimmy Kimmel's show is dead. He won't be renewed with his contract because he's denying Antifa that has been funded to the tune of hundreds of millions of dollars over the years and left a trail of destruction. And it's undoubtable. It's absolutely, without a doubt, they exist. It's so stupid that he would say that. Honestly, screw Jimmy Kimmel. How's that? Yeah, how about that? Yeah, screw Jimmy Kimmel. So you buy gold, you get free silver with Birch Gold. Every $5,000 purchased from Birch Gold this month in advance of Veterans Day, they will send you a free patriotic silver round that commemorates the Gadsden and American flags. I got mine right here in my velvet pouch. If you're watching on the stream, look at that. Look at that. Look at how pretty that is. My God, it's gorgeous. It's wonderful. I got it right here in my velvet pouch that I got from Birch Gold. There you go. I'm going to carry it around in my pocket. I'm going to flip it like a gumshoe reporter. Anyway, you can get to one if you order. If you begin to put some money into gold, gold is up over 40% since the beginning of the year. Over $4,000. Silver broke $50 an ounce this week. Yeah. So right now, if you get some information about Birch Gold, you invest some money in gold, you're going to get this free silver round. They got an A+ rating from the BBB, tens of thousands of happy customers. Many of them are you guys who listen to the show. I encourage you to diversify your savings into gold. Text my name, Rob, to 989898 for a free info kit. And once again, buy gold, and for every $5,000 purchased Birch Gold this month, in advance of Veterans Day, we'll send you a free patriotic silver round that commemorates the Gadsden and American flags. It's not just a silver coin. It is a really cool collectible. It's just something nice to have. Look at that. Look at that. Yeah, I've got these challenge coins in my home from a number of people, and this is going to be right there with them. It's just pretty. It's just kind of cool. It's all fancy and everything. So 989898, text my name, Rob, to 989898 for Birch Gold, and you'll get one of those if you invest accordingly. So we got a lot of stuff to get to in the next hour. Chris Ray is in hot agua. Letitia James is in hot agua as well. Hopefully they'll all go to jail. Mary Walter also joins us next hour. Tony's fun. Mary's even more fun. That's coming up in hour number 2 of a Friday edition of the Rob Carson Show. Don't go anywhere.
No blind rhetoric.
No talking down to me.
Don't tell me how to think.
Don't tell me how to think. Don't tell me how to think.
I trust Newsmax. Newsmax.
They don't tell me how to think. They let me decide.
Real news for real people.
interesting, informative, thought-provoking, and funny show in America. On air and on the World Wide Web. This is the Rob Carson Show.
And by the grace of God, it is finally Friday. Welcome to hour number 2 of the show. Mary Walter joins us at the bottom of the hour. And we've got plenty of stuff to get to before then. The number is 800-922-6680. Should you want to call, many of the times you guys don't call just because I think you kind of enjoy the ramblings that we do here on the show. So if you want to, that's cool. If not, sit back. I'm here to entertain you. I'm here to inform you. Although you guys are pretty informed, so a lot of the times when I tell you stuff, it's like, oh, yeah, well, you knew that. I went to the Kennedy Center last night, and it was beautiful. I put pictures on my social media. I mean, it was stunning because you're looking out over the Potomac, and I'd never been on the veranda on the backside of the Kennedy Center, but you're looking down right at the Potomac, and there are these scholars from Georgetown out there. These students, scholars of those long boats. It's like a super white version of the boats they have in Hawaii. The guys out there. What am I thinking of? The Pacific Islanders in their boats, like in the beginning of Hawaii Five-0. It's like a super white version of that. And it was just beautiful. It was a beautiful, beautiful night. And I ended up meeting some people. I met Batya Ungar-Sargon finally. Had a real serious Amy Winehouse vibe going. She was really, really spectacular. She did a presentation. And I ended up talking to Andy Ngo for a little while. Andy Ngo is a journalist who's just... he has been beaten. He has been nearly murdered. Here's Andy Ngo yesterday, before he met me, by the way, before he met me at the White House.
And I was assigned to cover the election night demonstrations. Well, the elections night protests turned to riots, 3 days of violent rioting in Portland, and it was the first time that I saw groups dressed in black with their faces covered. This was 4 years before COVID. Some of them were waving the black flag of anarchism, some the red flag of Marxism. And within seconds, they would ravage one street to another, to another, to another. And the next day, I would read the legacy media, which I still read at that time and looked forward to, and I looked up to those journalists. And I was really shocked to see that the narrative was that these, in my view, anti-democratic political violence was legitimate acts of protest because people were concerned about racism or all these other lies. And so for the next 4 years, I just continued going out with my video camera. I thought, look, people can ignore what I write because of spin, but videos can quite speak for themselves.
Yeah, listen to this.
And in 2019, it led to me nearly losing my life. I was covering another Antifa protest turned riot.
Jimmy Kimmel says Antifa doesn't exist.
At that point, had been routine in Portland, and then I was ambushed in a mob beating, and I had never been in a fight. I didn't even realize that I was being assaulted until seconds in, and the punches came from everywhere on my head and my face, and I was bleeding out of my eyes and ears, and then they threw all the drinks in my eyes to humiliate me further and to laugh at me. And I was rushed to the hospital in an ambulance and CT scan, and I had subarachnoid hemorrhage, which is bleeding in the brain. I nearly died. And after surviving that, the reporting that I saw in liberal media it seemed to suggest that I had deserved it.
I got to know Andy, and I ended up spending a couple hours talking to him. And there's an age when you get into in your life, you kind of look at someone as someone who could be your son. And he's a diminutive person and a kind person. And I just wanted to, I kind of want to give the guy a hug, right? So I ended up just talking to him, and I told him, I said, I look at you as a warrior for truth, and I think you're brave. And I asked him, I said, where do you live? He goes, I live in London. And he told me the reason why he lives in London is because he fears for his life when he comes to the United States. And it was something else. It was really something else. And we ended up sitting by each other next to this Italian delegation in the back of the room at this award ceremony at the Kennedy Center, where Pete Hegseth was honored, among others. And when we parted, I shook his hand and I gave him a hug, and I just said, I think you're a great person, and I was honored to be near you. And it was really something else. It was really something else. I was honored. It really was to be there. You can tell he's got some PTSD from this, man. Because he has taken a beating. I mean, a literal beating on more than one occasion, nearly murdered. And I used to get bullied and beaten at home and at school. One time gotten beaten, I mean, severely by my sister's husband. And I was 11 years old, and I remember it. I mean, it was just brutal. And I could imagine the nightmares that Andy Ngo suffers. And I got to tell you also, I am ready for Antifa to get its ass handed to it. I am tired of these punks. I want to see the masks off. I want to see pepper in the face. And if they take a swing, I want swinging back. I want swinging back. Enough with this nonsense. Enough with these idiots like Chris Murphy. He says that Chicago doesn't have a crime problem. Donald Trump is a Nazi. He's bringing... Chicago has seen 6,200 murders in the last decade. 6,200 murders in the last decade. Antifa is a well-funded organization. A very well-funded organization. Yesterday, Capitol Hill, Seamus Brunner, great journalist there, was talking about, he's with the Government Accountability Institute, and he said that the whole of government crackdown on Antifa is on the way, but they are well-funded, and some of the funding these jackasses have gotten has been our tax money. So these NGOs around the country, these billionaires around the world, need to be extradited to come to America and face charges.
But this is not just a story about violence and chaos, as you alluded to, Mr. President. This is a money story. Yep. And at the Government Accountability Institute, my colleague and I, Peter Schweitzer and our team, yep, we followed the money, and we followed it to the top of what we call the protest industrial complex, Riot Inc., and
this is the Democrats' civil war that they've been waging, and it is a funded civil war with soldiers. But they have plausible deniability. They're funding it. They have soldiers for hire. They're causing damage and casualties. The Democrat Party. The Democrat Party.
And we found a network of NGOs. It's not just the Soros Network, the Open Society Network. It's other funding networks. The Arabella Funding Network, the Tides Funding Network.
Yeah, it's all coming down. It's all coming down, all coming down. This is Brandon Johnson, the mayor of Chicago, who makes Lori Lightfoot look like, Fiorello LaGuardia. Anyway, being challenged yesterday.
Over the last week, I've literally interacted with over 300,000 plus real Chicagoans who say that it is hate speech for you to evoke the Civil War, to evoke bringing back the Confederacy, to say that law enforcement is a sickness, when you yourself have over 150 sworn police officers on your detail. What do you say to these people, and will you ask your 150 sworn police officer CPD detail to stand down if you and your wife Stacy are ever attacked, shot at?
Police for me, not for thee.
Or rammed with a protester vehicle?
First of all, I'm sorry to hear that your numbers of interactions have gone down to only 300,000.
Actually millions, but personally I've interacted with over 300,000, believe it or not.
It went down this week.
No, it's going up. Higher than yours.
Jack Weed's response is your social media numbers are down. Honestly, I hope he gets arrested. I really hope and pray Brandon Johnson gets arrested, because nobody in Chicago is going to give a crap. Nobody is going to give a crap at all. This is Mark Elias. He's the author of the Russia collusion hoax, basically saying that the uprisings are just started. I hate to tell you this, Marky Mark. You are high because a beatdown is coming.
Yeah, and if I can just add one thing. Simone says this is not over. Like, this is just begun.
Right.
Okay? Yeah, we were talking about the deployment of the military in Los Angeles, and there was a lot of public attention and outrage. And then it came to Washington, D.C., and there was a lot less. And then in Portland, there's been less. In Chicago, it's even less.
Just as they hoped.
And before you know it, there will be troops in every city trying to intimidate people. And, there was been a lot of attention about James Comey, understandably, and a lot about...
they sit around and mentally masturbate on MSNBC, and they're just so intellectually and morally bankrupt and dead, by the way. Their network is dead for a number of reasons. By the way, 2 Boston police officers suffered broken bones and were hospitalized after being attacked by Hamas supporters on the Students for Justice in Palestine, October the 7th, celebration this year. Broken bones of police officers, and I got to tell you, a beatdown is coming for these people. They have declared war on us. They've been fighting a war against us for years, and it's time to do a little butt kicking. This is brand new from Jim Gossett as the president on the Rob Carson Show.
How do you solve a problem like Antifa? A terrorist group, that is what they are. I'm gonna solve this problem called Antifa. They have gone too far.
West Side Story.
The Democrats, they support Antifa. Their reign of terror they try to deny. Claim that Soros doesn't fund Antifa, but that's a big fat lie.
Hey.
We are coming after you, Antifa. In towns like Portland where you terrorize,
you're gonna kick their butts.
National Guard will help to fight Antifa. They'll cut it down to size. How do you solve a problem like Antifa? They are a hate group in most people's eyes.
There you go. I came up with that the other night. I said, how do you handle a problem like Maria? And I said, let's do Antifa. And I sent it to Jim Gossett, and he put that together. He's a friggin' genius. And you're only going to hear it here, guys. Nobody else is doing political satire like this. Nobody is. And right now you're hearing the best satire, political satire in the history of radio on this show. On this show. I did it for Limbaugh for many years. It's even gotten better. And Jim Gossett is a master. If you want to go to patreon.com/Jim Gossett Comedy, patreon.com/Jim Gossett Comedy, $10 a month, he's going to send you at least a parody, usually 2 every single day. And all I would ask is that you help him out and then share and tell people where you heard it, where you got it on The Rob Carson Show. Let's take a break and come back. This is The Rob Carson Show. This is brilliant. Brilliant.
Okay.
How do you solve a problem like Antifa? A terrorist group, that is what they are. I'm gonna solve this problem called Antifa. They have gone too far. The Democrats, they support Antifa. Their reign of terror they try to deny. Claim that Soros doesn't fund Antifa, but that's a big fat lie. We are coming after you, Antifa. In towns like Portland where you terrorize, National Guard will help to fight Antifa. They'll cut it down to size. How do you solve a problem like Antifa? They are a hate group in most people's eyes. 5'2", so untrue. His low ratings, nothing new. Jon Stewart is a little guy. Keep slamming Trump, what a chump. not much taller than a stump. Jon Stewart is a little guy. Won't think twice of slamming ice. He is unglued. His made-up tales are giant fails. Yes, Jon Stewart should be sued. He's not tall, not at all. He'll get canceled after fall. Jon Stewart is a little guy. He's a shrimp and a wimp attacking the guard. On his show, he goes low. Replacing him will not be hard. Has no height, never right. His show's ending is in sight. Jon Stewart is a little guy.
Today, when Trump, Meloni talk, they are called a threat to democracy. This is the left's double standard.
Italy elected Giorgia Meloni. A real conservative, no, she isn't a phony. Paper ballots, voter ID. No cheat by mail in Italy. If we ran elections like Italians do, a same-day vote, the count is true. We'd be solid red without a trace of blue. Things will change under Giorgia Meloni. Unlike Mitch, she's not full of baloney. She ran on God and family, making her country legal free. Italy's moving to the right. Georgia's not afraid to fight. Italian people, they have seen the light.
The Rob Carson Show podcast is everywhere. Go to newsmax.com/listen for details.
It is unceasing. Day after day, night after night, Antifa terrorists, as was explained to the event in the White House today, are trying to kill ICE officers, attack ICE officers, threaten their families, dox them, and do everything in their power to try to prevent Immigration and Customs Enforcement from getting violent criminal aliens out of this country. Now, look what happened by contrast in Washington, D.C.
Yeah.
When President Trump's program was put in place, when local leadership embraced the Trump plan, the Trump program, what happened, Sean? It's never been more peaceful. People have never felt more free. As President Trump said on your show tonight, they're going out to restaurants, they're going to monuments, they're taking lovely strolls in the evening with their loved ones.
Yeah.
The only people who have lost are the criminals, the gangbangers, the drug dealers.
Yeah, you know, it's remarkable in the Democrat Party. You're so in bed with evil. They get up, they burn their lips kissing Satan goodbye in the morning. I swear to God, you idiots, you evil idiots. How dare you? Everything you do is on the wrong side of everything. You're on the wrong side of everything. Washington, D.C. is clean and wonderful. I've been out in the city. It's a delight. It's a delight to live here. You know, I never thought that. It's better than it was when I lived here 10, 12 years ago. The Union Station is spotless with the exception of these jackasses who have a tent out in front of Union Station to be taken down. It's got profanity on it, says bleep Trump and all that. What a bunch of a-holes. Honestly, there's no room for it. But all the homeless encampments, all of that nonsense, I started to see Occupy Wall Street come in. One of the guys assaulted my son verbally 15 years ago, and I remember you could smell pot wafting through the air at 8 in the morning, and I went down for the turkey trot for Thanksgiving, and my son was assaulted by this a-hole from Occupy Wall Street. And of course, you remember in Occupy Wall Street, they had to put rape tents up because the women were being raped who were there. These scumbag Antifa thugs, there's no doubt they exist, and I want their asses beat to the ground. I do, absolutely 100%. I watch all weekend and almost every day. I like these Antifa thugs when they confront ICE agents or even do the slightest bit of push or assault, and then they get a beat down. I love it because I've been saying this for years now. now that it's time for these children to get a spanking, and they're getting the spanking, and they're going to get a spanking from the Justice Department because they're going to go to jail. And the people who paid for this civil war against us for years, there's been a civil war, and the Democrat Party has been on the side of the people who wanted to take down America. And they're going to lose just like they did the last civil war. They are siding on the wrong side of history. Your Democrat Party is such a filthy, rotten, stinking, corrupt bunch of people. How could you possibly be associated with this party? How could you possibly, in good standing as a person, be down with the Democrat Party, who's been down with all this transgender nonsense, all of this insanity? You are out of your mind. If you go, you're going to go into hell with them if you stay with them. You can break free. I'm not saying you need to be a Republican, but you need to break away from this insanity, this evil that has taken over the Democrat Party. I'm talking to you, and if you don't want to do that, I have no time for you. The world has no time for you. Mankind has no time for you. There's no place at the table for you. You have had your chance. You have bedded down with evil. You've bedded down with violence. You've bedded down with nonsense. And honestly, done. So I downloaded some software to run the cameras in my TV studio. And all of a sudden, my computer completely froze up. Nothing I could do about it. I couldn't even turn the dang thing off. Couldn't even turn it off. That's when I discovered WebRoot. WebRoot is, a thing you can use for real-time antivirus protection against emerging threats, malware, like I downloaded, ransomware, phishing scams all the time, plus a firewall and network monitor. Web Threat Shield detects and blocks malicious websites before you visit them, because they're very tricky. They're very tricky. Password Manager protects logins and activities and all of that. And right now, during Cybersecurity Awareness Month, WebRoot's going to give you 60% off. It's dirt cheap for a year. It's dirt cheap for a year. You won't even believe it. When you sign up, you won't even believe it. You will not believe it. 60% off. You got to go to webroot.com/Carson. Webroot.com/Carson. I promise you, you're going to love this. And when you see the price for a year, you're going to go, oh my God. And then that you can do up to like 4 devices so your kids, their computers can be protected. It is remarkable. It really is. It's a great deal and a great service that will save your finances, your hard drive, your privacy, all of it. All of it. Webroot.com/Carson. Webroot.com/Carson. Okay. A lot of other stuff to get to. 2 FBI agents who worked for Jack Smith have been fired. They were a part of this wiretapping Operation Arctic Frost. One of them was about a month away from retirement, but he's such a scumbag, he's been fired. He's been fired. I got details on this coming up. Chris Wray under federal investigation for a host of wrongdoings, for basically making the FBI into the Stasi meets, the Gestapo. And that is not in any way, shape, or form inflammatory. It is absolutely true what they did. We're going to get to all of that. On the other side of this break, we're talking to Mary Walter. And I've got a bunch of stories to talk to Mary Walter about. She's always pithy. She's pithy is what she is. She's effervescent and awesome. And she joins us next on The Rob Carson Show. As the weather cools, I'm swapping in the pieces that actually get the job done. Warm, durable, built to last. And Quincy delivers every time with wardrobe staples that'll carry you through the season. I call fall the great equalizer. You can put layers on. I actually like the way I look in clothes now. And Quincy has the kind of fall staples you actually want to wear on repeat, like 100% Mongolian cashmere from just $60. Classic fit denim, always good. And real leather and wool outerwear that looks sharp and holds up. I've got my eye on their suede trucker jacket. It's perfect for layering and looks really casual but put together. By partnering directly with ethical factories and top artisans, Quincy cuts out the middleman to deliver premium quality at half the cost of similar brands. Layer up this fall with pieces that feel as good as they look. Go to quinsay.com/newsmax for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. Now available in Canada too. That's QUINCE.com/newsmax. Free shipping and 365-day returns. QUINCE.com/newsmax.
Street protesters, we've had our fill, but Randy Fine has a bill, says move 'em on over, run 'em all over, run over protesters blocking all our roads. The Thump Thump Bill is what it's called. I'm sure the left will be appalled, but move 'em on over. Run them all over. Step on the gas if they won't step aside. Sure, it might leave a dent, but make them a hood ornament. Run them all over. Thump them all over. If they block our streets, they'll get what they deserve.
Free in libs' heads I'm living, the fits I am giving to Whoopi, Sunny, and Joy. Rent free, I'm occupying. Rosie is lying. She says I'm not in her head. Break free, they simply can't do it. When you get down to it, they have TDS real bad. Hatred, just watch it as it spreads, because inside their heads I live. Rent
Arizona and Corona, all the lies about them they've been telling you. How did they win it? The freaking Senate, when the votes that they received were very few. Don't catch the stupid, don't buy their BS, that climate change is real, inflation's not. Don't catch the stupid, don't believe them, because distraction and diversion's all they got. We all know that Hurricane Ian was the result of global warming. Russian collusion led to confusion. January 6th is a smokescreen. The new Green Deal is a disguise steal, like their mandate forcing you to take vaccine. Don't catch the stupid, you just can't do it, that in women's sports men should compete. They're teaching sex ed in kindergarten. They're destructive policies we must defeat. Like wear a mask, don't wear a mask. Statues have fallen, it's so appalling to ignore Hunter's laptop and his theft. Don't catch the stupid, reject their nonsense. Everything
Mary had a little lamb. His face was white as snow, yeah. Everywhere the child.
I think I'm going to do this song if I go to karaoke. I've been invited to karaoke.
Should I go, yeah?
I usually don't do karaoke. I'm actually a pretty good singer. But I don't drink anymore, so, I don't know how entertaining karaoke is when you're not drunk. No idea.
Or how good you think you sound.
Well, yeah, that's true. That is true. Actually, I'm an all-state choir singer from way back. I sang from second grade through my junior year in college. Thank you very much.
But your voice has changed since then, Peter, right? Peter Brady?
It has come down a bit.
Yeah. Changed slightly since then.
How are you, Mary Walter?
But we're not going to talk about that.
No.
I'm doing great. Happy Friday.
Oh, my goodness, yes. What a week we had. A Pete's deal in
Middle East?
Israel, Italy. Yeah. No, in Israel. And obviously, I know it's a big surprise. Trump did not get the Nobel Peace Prize.
Well, he wasn't eligible. Everyone's screaming about it. For this year, nominations had to be in by January 31st of 2025. So he's eligible next year. Everyone's screaming. I'm like, for the love of God, somebody read the fine print.
Well, that's not what they said in the. That's not what they said. They said that the Nobel Committee. They said that the peace deal between Israel and Hamas didn't come until a couple days ago, and that was part of it. So you're saying that it was
because he had to be, the nominations had to be in by January 31st of 2025. So now everything from that day, so everything from February to the beginning of January of next year will be for next year. So everybody's screaming and yelling, and I looked it up online. I'm like, well, that's why. There it is right there.
It's because we've learned to expect the worst from the Nobel Prize Committee because they always get it wrong, and they gave Barack Obama one for doing nothing.
I agree. And look, don't get your hopes up. Greta Thunberg's going to get it. And just because of her bravery with that haircut, he's not going to get it. But my point is, he wasn't eligible for the Nobel Peace Prize this year. It's a whole committee, and it's a process. They get something like over 300 nominations every year. So it's not just something that they say, oh, peace in the Middle East, let's just switch out the person we were going to give it to and give it to Trump and company.
Why not?
That's not how it works.
Well, why not?
It's not how it works.
Well,
what happens when you get your news from X and you just retweet?
Oh, really? Is that what you're saying? Is that where you're saying I get my news when I'm doing my 10 hours of show prep for a 3-hour show? Is that what you're saying?
You do live your life on social media.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I went to. Did I tell you I went to the Kennedy Center last night? You probably saw it on social media.
Of course, right next to the pictures of your food and your new shoes and the latest disco ball in the house.
Just because you're a very private person. We've already talked about this off the air. You've always been that kind of nerdy girl who kind of stays in the background.
True. But own it. I love to watch what everybody else does. I just love to everybody watch toot their own horn and look at me and do their thing and parade around. And then I just sit there in the background, and every now and then somebody notices you and says, "Oh, you get going." And I'm like, "Well,
Is that what you think it's about? You think it's me tooting my own horn? You think it's me tooting my own horn?
Well, I mean, you kind of are, right?
Hey, this is why I say you're the big sister, I'm the little brother. This is what it is. This is our dynamic we have here. My God.
I mean, you're only going to put people only post good stuff, not just you, but I'm saying people only post good stuff. Nobody posts the bad stuff.
Oh, I post the bad stuff. Dear God, there's plenty of bad stuff.
Oh, it's true. You did publicly go take us through your entire divorce. That's true.
Wow. What's your deal today?
No, I love you. I do. And I love you.
Well, let's talk about. Listen to this. Mondami's lead over Cuomo has shrunk. It's only like 12 points now. Since Eric Adams dropped out, Quinnipiac says that Mondami 45%. The lead is shrunk from 22 points to 13 points.
Dear Lord.
I know.
Oh, happy days are here again. Here's the thing. This is not just a shift in dynamics of the left from capitalism to communism. That's not what this is.
No.
This is about a generational shift. This is about age. And to their point, to the younger generation's point, the older members of Congress, of the Democrat Party, the Chuck Schumers, that whole crew, they're weak.
Yeah.
They're just weak. They don't have to campaign on anything. They've been writing their names for so long. Yeah. Cuomo with his dad, Mario. They've just been writing on the names for so long. They've never had to change anything. It's been same old, same old.
Yeah.
I don't have to campaign in the black districts or the Hispanic districts. They're just all going to vote for me, right?
Yep. That's true.
They've been caught, and now they're afraid. Look at in Congress. Hakeem Jeffries, now supposedly one of Mandami's compatriots, fellow communist, one of his comrades, is talking about primarying Hakeem Jeffries. And Hakeem Jeffries has got nothing. What does he have to sell? What has he done for anyone, any of his constituents? What has he done?
Well,
zip, zero, zilch. He's only worked for himself.
It's like Schumer. Schumer's been in Congress for 44 years, hasn't done anything. Bernie Sanders has been in Congress nearly as long. He has not done anything. They've not done a damn thing. And then you combine that with ignorant young people who have gone to school and been indoctrinated, don't realize that socialism left 100 million people in body pits last century, and they're like, oh, let's give it another try.
Right.
Yeah.
No, you're right. You're 100% right. Which, if I may just bring this in with what we were just talking about, even though I bust your chops about living on social media, it's good because no, because like this is how young people get their news. They get it off of social media, and something like now the Republicans have eclipsed Democrats with the number of people who go to X for their news.
True.
And this is with Turning Point and everything else. People like you who do post everything, it makes you seem relatable, right? You're not just posting politics. You do seem relatable. I'm at the Kennedy Center. Isn't this great? The Kennedy Center is like hip and cool now. So that's why I think it's good that the Republican Party is changing, whereas the Democrat Party hasn't figured that out yet.
Exactly.
The change is being forced upon them, whereas the Republican Party is doing the changing. Is the change being forced on them by the younger generation? Same thing, yes, but the Republican Party is embracing it. And they're changing with it, as opposed to the Democrats who are fighting it. And because, let's face it, they've got an extremism on the left that we do not have on the right, in my humble opinion.
I did come up with some slogans for the Cuomo campaign, if you'd like to hear them.
Oh, God.
Are you ready for this? Here we go.
I'm so ready.
So, Cuomo, the slightly less crappy alternative. Cuomo, if you're not elderly, you'll be fine. Here's another one. Cuomo, still a crap sandwich, but with chips and a drink. Okay.
but wait, you can't have no big drinks. Remember, they outlawed them.
Oh yeah, no plastic straws. Yes. So, Mario Cuomo, a slower descent into hell. Here we go. Mario Cuomo, he'll make New York City suck less. A couple more here. Mario Cuomo, put off your move to Florida a few months. And finally, Mario Cuomo, a 50% less stupid choice for New Yorkers. I think those are pretty good. I think it was pretty good. Mary Walter, can you hold on for the next break?
I sure can.
I got some great things I want to share about what I put on social media since my show started. So I want to get that just today. Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show. It is the Rob Carson Show. We're talking to Mary Walter, as we do on Friday, second hour, bottom of the hour break. And I want to talk to you. I will tell you one thing. The Nobel Committee, I think it was the best choice that they've made in a very long time. Venezuelan anti-socialist lawmaker Maria Corina Machado, who had the election stolen from her she had 70% of the vote. It was the exact same thing they wanted to do to Donald Trump and actually succeeded in doing there and in Brazil. They were all carbon copy elections. So I thought it was kind of good that, particularly as Venezuela teeters on the verge of collapse, Maduro's regime collapsing and all of that. So maybe that will help facilitate his fall and usher her in as the leader of the country. We'll see, right?
Well, it is about time for her to be made president, because when the men have screwed it up beyond belief, they hand it to a woman and go, "Here, could you clean this up?"
Yes.
So it's about time. So she should be probably president.
By the way, the new prime minister or president of Japan is a woman, and she's pretty kick butt too. So it's kind of cool. You got Giorgia Meloni in Italy. Got some powerful women taking over now.
You know what? I can't. You got a little ping pongy.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
There you go.
How about now?
Yeah, now you're good.
Sorry about that.
That's okay.
Yeah, okay.
You sounded like you were suddenly underwater. I'm like, oh, God, he's taking scuba diving. I'll read about it on social media.
Well, no, you'd hear about it on social media before.
It's so funny. I'm sorry. So what did you say there? You were talking about the Japanese prime minister who's a kick-butt woman, and then I lost you.
Yeah, well, that, and then Giorgia Meloni. A lot of powerful women are taking over, and the only thing keeping a powerful woman from being in France is that Marine Le Pen has been banned from being in office with trumped-up charges, from the left. So, women are making a footprint for sure.
Yeah, but you got to admit Macron's a little on the feminine side, so,
Yes, he is, and you just stop that right now.
I didn't say anything. All I said is he's a little on the feminine side. That's it.
So let me ask you, his wife obviously is a woman. Okay, all right. But Candace Owens, what's up with Candace Owens? Is she just, what's up with her? I used to respect her. I used to like her. She's just bananas.
Yes.
What the hell is wrong with her?
There's like a faction that was on the Trump train early on, right?
Yeah.
And they were doing good, and they were all over, watch it, because they were all over social media.
I know.
And, they were really running it. But see, now there's the opening, and here you go, right? You can assurance this is good. But seriously, they just went so far, with the Dominion thing and all of this stuff.
I don't know. Every once in a while, it's like you watch Tucker Carlson. Tucker Carlson, normal. Then out of nowhere comes something bat guano crazy. You're like, what the hell? Why do you do this? With with Candace Owens, she's committing career suicide. With Tucker Carlson, he takes 2 steps forward, 1 step back all the time.
Right, and here's the other thing. When he left Fox, he left with something like a parachute of $42 million or something like that.
Yeah.
And see, this is where you and I are opposite. We've had this discussion off the air for everybody.
Wait, you and I are opposite? No friggin' way.
Oh, total opposites, right? Total, complete opposites of each other, just like mirror images. And I would have just taken that money and invested wisely, but I just would have gotten a house on an island somewhere where nobody can find me, nobody can bother me, and people only visit me on my terms, right?
Yeah.
That's what I would have done. Instead, no, he plunges and stays in the spotlight and plunges into the podcast thing. And I'm just and it's just a roller coaster. I'm like, Tucker, take the money and run, see?
There's going to be a point. And I do mean this. I always say, you hear these people who have these absurd salaries, Jimmy Kimmel, $16 million a year. Just give me 1 year of that and then I'm done. I just need a 1 year contract, $16 million, and I'm done.
Yeah, 100%. I'm with you.
All right, I got some other things I want to.
Look at that way. Look at that. We both take the money and run. See, look at that.
Well, we are obviously politically aligned, but everything else, just complete opposite.
Yes, but see, that's why I like you.
Yeah, me too. I like you too, most of the time. Sometimes not so much. Let's see here. So
I'm lovable all the time.
Florida man stole $7,000 worth of scratch-off tickets, then went back to the same convenience store to redeem them hours later. Did you know the key word there? Florida man.
You know what, though? Here's the thing. Do you think they don't have the serial numbers of the tickets that were stolen.
You would think.
So if you tried, no matter where you tried to redeem them, they're going to get you and give you silver handcuffs. That's what you're going to get.
This is Justin Farley, 43, went to the Circle K, opened multiple cabinets, took scratch-off tickets, and then left and came back and tried to redeem them, got arrested. He also robbed a 7-Eleven in a black mask, yellow shirt, black Nikes, and a replica Glock at the clerk and stole $120. He's in jail. He's going to jail for a very long time. There you go.
Do we know, does he have a criminal history prior to this? Because I would love to know what happened at 43.
I have no doubt.
That suddenly made him turn to because clearly he doesn't know what he's doing.
Yeah.
Right? He doesn't know what he's doing.
So you think he just started?
Yeah, I'm wondering if he's like a newbie, right? Like he could use a little tutoring or something.
Well, it's kind of like playing the lottery in general. Because I've been playing the lottery for 40 years, since high school, right? And the most I've ever won happened when I was in high school. It was $21, and I still play the stupid lottery. What the hell?
Yeah, you sound like me. We bought a bunch of tickets for when the Powerball was like $1 billion, whatever it was, and I'm like, I can live on that. So we bought tickets, and we didn't win $1. Not even $1. Not $1. By the way, can I just say sad news?
What?
You know Sister Jean from Loyola University, the nun?
Yes.
She just died.
I heard she was 106, though.
Yes, I just heard that. I'm sorry. I thought it was breaking news on your show. I apologize.
No, I believe it or not, I don't get all my news on social media, Mary.
I don't know. Was that like a dig at me because I just found it out now?
Well, of course it is.
Oh, okay. Well, I had to take a nap because I was up at 4 o'clock this morning to be on the air at 6. So I took a nap and I woke up just for this interview.
Well, thank you for doing that. I appreciate it. You would have been proud of me last night at the Kennedy Center. I sat by Andy Ngo, and Andy Ngo and I we went and found a seat, and we were in the back row, and I found 2 seats, and there was this row of people there, and I said, "Do you mind if I sit here?" And they said no, and I said, "Is this the Metallica concert?" And they all started laughing. They were the Italian delegation from the embassy. We ended up hitting it off, and I've been invited to Cafe Milano for dinner.
I was wondering, could you drop some more names in there a little bit? Could you do a little more names?
Just Andy Ngo. I didn't say it was Georgia Maloney sitting up there.
Invited. Let's tell everybody. Clearly, you were invited.
Yes, I was.
To a special event at the Kennedy Center.
Yeah, it's kind of a big deal.
Yeah, it's kind of like you, a big deal.
Mary, just because you've left this all in your past and it's new to me doesn't mean that because there you go.
No, honey, I didn't do those things. Like if they asked me to come to the Kennedy Center, I'm like, I got to be on the air. I got to get up at 5. We went on the air at 5 o'clock in the morning.
Well,
so I had to be in the studio at 4 o'clock. I wasn't going to the Kennedy Center the night before. I was like, thank you very much.
If you want, I'll get you whatever autographs you want. Okay, I'll be here for a while.
I just want your autograph.
Of course you do. All right, Mary, good to talk to you today. Where can people find you on the social media and your podcast, of course?
By the way, we accomplished literally nothing in this interview.
No, of course not.
Just
literally
conversation.
Just conversation.
Okay, so tomorrow at 12:30, I will be on Newsmax with Rita Cosby, 12:30 Eastern Time. I will be on the Wendy Bell Show. It airs at 3 o'clock p.m. on Saturday. It re-airs at 3:30 on Sunday. Monday, I'm on the Chris Salcedo Show between 5 and 6 o'clock. Tuesday's my podcast, 7:15 p.m. Eastern Time. And we go live on Rumble, YouTube, and Getter. Look for Mary Walter Radio. And then audio is available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Spreaker. Again, just look for Mary Walter Radio.
All right, very good. Go crawl back in your shell. I'm going to go do some social media. We'll talk next week, okay?
Bye.
Let's take a break. You bet. And come back. This is the Rob Carson Show. We're wicked late. I had the wrong button pushed in. I knew it. Hey, guys, it's Carson for...
That's all right.
All right, I know we're going to have a real short break here, so let's say hi to That's not speculation, that's on reality. Social media. And if your portion of your savings isn't diversified into gold, you're missing the boat. I want you guys to come. Here are the facts. Inflation is still too high. The U.S. dollar is still too weak, and the government debt is insurmountable. It's kind of cool. That's why central banks are
Bridget
flocking
Macron
to gold.
is a man,
They're the
baby.
ones driving prices up to
That's
record highs.
little Austin
But it's not too
Powers
late
there,
to buy
Andrew
gold from
Cordero.
Birch Gold
She's
Group
a
and get in
man,
the door.
baby,
Birch
man.
Gold will help you convert an existing
Ah,
IRA
Round the
401k
Pony.
into a
Hello,
tax-sheltered
hello.
IRA
Round the
in
Pony
gold.
says she likes
You don't pay a
India.
dime out of pocket. And
text
yeah,
Rob,
she did.
my name, to 989898. Claim your free info kit. No
Only time, remember that? That was the
only
90s. We used to listen to that.
The best indicator of the future is the past. And gold has historically been a safe haven for millennia.
And
What
Dookie
else
Bear.
can
Good to
say
see you
that?
guys there as well.
Text Rob.
Let's look at YouTube. We got all sorts of new people like Loris K. Borgen Copeland.
That's Rob to 989898.
That's a hell of a name.
Protect
Loris
your
K.
future
Borgen
today
Copeland.
with
Hello,
Birch
I'm
Gold.
Loris K. Borgen Copeland. Dude, you know. You sound like
Hey
one of
guys,
those people with the
Carson
Nobel
here in our
Committee.
community. We
Yes,
believe in
I'm
hard
Lawrence
work,
K.
honesty, and
Borgen
taking care of our
Copeland,
own.
and we'd like
That's
to
why
announce
RP9, a veteran-owned business, is proud to serve our neighbors right here at home.
Nikki Hastings, Sarah
If you've got property ready to sell, whether a house
Kimberly
or land,
Viederholt.
RP9 makes
Hello
it
there,
simple.
Kimberly
We buy real estate
Viederholt.
for
How are
cash
you
as
doing
is,
there?
With no inspections, no
Steve
fees,
Job,
and
as
no
I mentioned
commissions.
earlier. Thanks
the
for
offer
watching
we
today.
make is the
Judy
dollar
in
amount
Canada
you'll see
is
at closing, and
Judy
here's
in
the best part.
Canada
We can
is
close
what?
in as little as 7 days. You don't have to lift a finger. No
She's on
repairs,
Rumble.
no cleaning, no stress.
She's on the
Just a
Rumble.
fair,
I think we
on-the-spot offer from folks who actually care. At RP9, we don't flip properties for a quick buck. We rent, we renovate, we improve. That's why we pay more. So
Hold on
if
one
you're ready for
second.
a fast,
Where
fair,
we
and
got here? We got a new
hassle-free
one.
sale, call Lance
Leap
or
from the
Terry
there.
at 410
Oh, here we go, spinning.
402
Here we go.
5200.
Got a new parody from Jim Gossett
That's
here. We'll play, okay?
410 402 5200.
Okay, hold on one second.
RP9, real people, great offers, real fast.
Here we go. Letitia James being indicted because, you know, she broke the law, and she is being indicted for the same thing she accused Donald Trump of, and Donald Trump was found guilty and fined $450 million. So you know what? Heck with her. I don't even care. This is new from Jim Gossett as Donald Trump.
What goes up must come down. Letitia James about to go down.
Need some cowbell.
Indictment secured by the DOJ. Letitia is in trouble and she is gonna pay.
Yeah, baby.
Mortgage fraud. It's what she did. On her application information head said her father was her husband when she applied.
Kinda weird.
It's obvious to us Letitia James lied. She said Virginia was her home state. She got caught. There's no debate.
No, there isn't.
DOJ, get off the dime. Prosecute Letitia and investigate her crime.
There you go. That is Jim Gossett on the Rob Carson Show. Yeah. Only going to hear it here. Only going to hear it here. And if you become a Patreon member for Jim Gossett Comedy, patreon.com, Jim Gossett Comedy, we got Chris Ray in trouble. We got FBI agents being fired. Hell to pay. It's finally here. That's coming up next. Also, Christian Toto, Hollywood in Toto, in the last hour of the Rob Carson Show on Friday. Don't go anywhere.
This is the right choice for America.
Talk Radio 680.
Nancy Pelosi impression.
Hold it now.
You are about to hear the most interesting, informative, thought-provoking, and funny show in America. On air and on the World Wide Web. This is the Rob Carson Show.
And by the grace of God, it is finally Friday. Uh-oh, my TV screen behind me. I got to correct it here real quick. I have a couple of backgrounds that I use here on the television behind me, and if I can get it to do here. I don't want it to. I'm streaming live, so obviously I need to. And of course, whenever the TV, when I'm on TV, it misbehaves and it doesn't get fixed. Okay, now I'll just leave it like this for now. We'll try it again here in a second. I'll try and do this as I'm talking. But anyway, welcome to the show. Please come inside. We got another hour of the show. We'll be talking to Christian Toto at the bottom of the hour, and then also a lot of things to get to. I'll play some audio here so I can mess with the television. Anyway, couple of things going on. Letitia James is being indicted. Grand jury indicted New York Attorney General Letitia James on charges of fraud Thursday, roughly 2 weeks after the indictment of former FBI Director Jim Comey. It's not about any sort of a retribution. It is about accountability and her breaking the law. Here is Scott Jennings talking about this on CNN, and of course the panel immediately saying that, it's just retribution.
What is fueling this campaign, what is fueling my soul right now is Trump and his abuses against immigrants, against women, against our environment. We need an attorney general who will stand up to Donald Trump.
Yeah, this is a typical Stalinistic tactic. She ran on going after Donald Trump even though there were no charges. This is what makes her so freaking corrupt and awful and evil. She should be indicted for that. That should at least cause her to lose her ability to practice law for the rest of her bloody, stinking life.
And we needed an attorney general who understands and knows the law and who recognizes that no one is above the law, including the President of these United States.
You know what's interesting? She named all the things she was mad at Trump over, but then she went after him on mortgage fraud as a civil case, which just always struck me as, I've just got to find something here to satisfy my political base. Also, I don't understand why being a political foe of Donald Trump makes you immune from having to follow the law. If she did it,
honestly, and then the rest of the panel might as well not even be there because all they do is spew nonsense.
Her case
then a jury will, adjudicate.
Her case was not an $18,000 case, was it? It was millions case. If you buy it.
Yeah, and by the way, what Trump did was he got money from banks that he paid back with interest, and they wanted to do more business with him. And by the way, for instance, you look at your tax assessment on your house, right? Generally, you usually don't complain about it because a lot of the times when it comes to the county you live in or the state you live in, they underestimate the value of the house. The house, you could actually sell it for more. And so you are satisfied with the lower number because you don't pay as much taxes. But if you need a home, equity loan, you're going to say the house is worth more. Do you understand? You see, that's what Donald Trump did, right? That's essentially what he did, except for he did it and he paid billions of dollars in interest to banks, and he had a great business. And this awful, wretched harpy from hell went after him because she promised to go after him for something. And that's what happened. But they've been doing this crap to Donald Trump for years. Here's Scott Jennings talking about Letitia James, her entire career, what it's been about.
Here's what I think. If Democrats like Slotkin are going to come out today and whine about selective prosecutions over Tish James, her entire career is built on the selective prosecution of one man. Now, I also believe what Elliot said. There's a process here. Everybody gets their day in court. Obviously, a grand jury saw enough evidence to bring charges. We don't know what they are, but a grand jury looked at this and says, okay, there's something here. She gets to go to court just like Comey, just like anyone else. But to me, it's just not going to fly to boo-hoo over selective prosecutions on this.
Yeah, and they knew it was coming because they knew in real time, the media knew in real time what they were doing to Donald Trump was a lie. They did. They said it in real time. They said 2 years ago they started talking about retribution. What they were doing to Donald Trump, and that if he got back in office, he would have retribution. They knew what they were doing to Donald Trump was not on the up and up. They knew that they were going after Donald Trump for nothing. The media knows this. Don't let them try to fool you. They were thrilled about the 34, guilty verdicts. They were completely thrilled about that. even though they knew they were bullcrap. And they know they're bullcrap too, by the way. They only did it for a talking point. They wanted to put him in jail. They wanted to take his fortune. Then they wanted to murder him. So this is why, they're going to get their asses handed to them on this. And I love it. And I love it. I love it. You want to call it retribution? I don't care. Call it a ham sandwich. I don't give a rat's behind what you call it. But hell is coming for what you did, how you abuse the system. It's coming. There's nothing you can do about it. And you every day you complain about it. You're going down in flames. Former FBI Director Chris Wray under a federal investigation. Multiple former officials hit with subpoenas in the expanding Wray inquiry. Yesterday I was listening to the radio, and I think Hannity was talking to Chris Wray, to Peter Navarro and John Solomon. And Peter Navarro, they waited to go after Peter Navarro with a misdemeanor charge. Peter Navarro lived right across from the FBI, told the FBI, if you need anything, come and find me. I'm across. They waited. They followed him. They tracked him until he got to Reagan National Airport, the most public way possible, the most humiliating way possible. They arrested him with armed members of the FBI to embarrass him as much as possible, even his fiancée, Bonnie. They hauled her off in leg irons. Those filthy, rotten, stinking, Stalinistic Gestapo members. Screw them. Screw them. Disgraced former FBI Director Christopher Wray, with his pouty little mouth that'll make him very, very popular in prison, is now the target of an expanding federal investigation, according to the Wall Street Journal. Same report says CIA Director John Brennan is also being investigated. Brennan and Wray, both central figures in the intelligence establishment's war against President Trump, are facing growing scrutiny for their roles in the politically motivated witch hunts that corrupted the highest levels of government, according to the sources. Sensitive documents were allegedly concealed within Wray's personal office on the 7th floor of the FBI headquarters. These files were later placed into burn bags inside a restricted room intended for destruction, but they didn't get destroyed, did they, monkey boy? You're going to go to jail. The Western District of Virginia is leading the inquiry related to alleged destruction of mishandling of documents connected to the Durham Special Counsel investigation. Investigators, this is from the Gateway Pundit, by the way. This is a great journalistic endeavor that they call misinformation and disinformation. But you see, it wasn't. They got the truth right all the time. So anyway, the Western District leading an inquiry related to the alleged destruction or mishandling of documents connected to the Durham Special Counsel investigation. Investigators have been seeking interviews in recent weeks and have spoken with staff who worked on the 7th floor of FBI headquarters during Wray's tenure, where the leadership suite is. The investigation includes questions about documents that were stored in burn bags, which are often used to dispose of paper versions of classified records. In August, the Oversight Project criminally referred Christopher Wray to the Department of Justice, citing false statements to Congress and obstruction of official proceedings. The detailed key incidents in the FBI's anti-Catholic Richmond memo, the FBI's obstruction of an investigation into a Chinese mail-in voting scam alleged in the 2020 election that was stolen. I can say that now. The FBI blocked an investigation into claims that the Chinese Communist Party manufactured thousands of fake driver's licenses, shipped them into the U.S. to facilitate fraudulent mail-in voting operations. You think maybe that was a quid pro quo for the $25 million Joe Biden got from the Chinese Communist Party into 9 different family bank accounts? You think? Dear God. Wray lied under oath about both scandals, the mail-in voting cover-up and the Richmond memo. The Richmond memo, exposed by whistleblower Kyle Seraphin, revealed the FBI had targeted traditional Catholics as potential domestic terrorists. They're still doing it. Minneapolis, Minnesota. 2 little babies murdered using the same talking points as your federal government and your Democrat Party. This is the civil war that they have been waging with plausible deniability. They've been waging a civil war. They need to be treated as insurrectionists. And I think we know what the punishment for that is, don't we? Potential domestic terrorists discussing using priests and parish staff as tripwires to spy on religious communities. Welcome to the friggin' Soviet Union. And yet another damning revelation. The FBI reportedly recently admitted 274 plainclothes agents embedded in the crowds of January the 6th Reichstag, ladies and gentlemen, which I said January the 7th of that year. This directly contradicts Wray's sworn testimony before Congress where he denied the FBI presence in the Capitol. Go to jail for life, you wretched scumbag. The FBI took action against 3 FBI officials who worked for Jack Smith, firing 2 after it was revealed that Biden's FBI and Jack Smith spied on Republican senators. According to NBC News, one of the fired FBI agents was months away from retirement. Well, you're going out with a bang, aren't you there, mister? You just burned your entire career being a filthy, rotten corruptocrat, forsaking your sworn duty as a law officer. To hell with you. Joe Biden's FBI, later Jack Smith, spied on 8 Republican senators during the Arctic Frost investigation, again looking for a crime, looking for anything they could nail them on, to extort them, to pressure them, or jail them. Yeah, that's what they did. The FBI's sweeping investigation that formed the basis of Jack Smith's D.C. case against Trump, by the way. Yeah. Jack Smith, I can't wait till he's perp-walked. Grassley and Johnson previously blew the lid off another sham investigation orchestrated by Biden's corrupt Justice Department, compromised the FBI. According to documents released earlier this year, the FBI and DOJ weaponized their power to target President Trump, former Vice President Mike Pence, and their allies through a probe dubbed Arctic Frost, Operation Arctic Frost. Jack Smith tracked the phone calls of 8 senators, all 3 agents, by the way, fired, previously named in documents released by Senator Chuck Grassley about Arctic Frost and FBI probe we know about, which resulted in 2 federal criminal cases against Trump, one for his handling of classified documents, the other involving his attempts to overturn the 2020 election loss. No, to uncover the election theft. And, of course, one of the FBI employees, a former combat veteran, was months away from his eligible retirement, called back to the office after having left for the day and informed, "You're fired. Bye-bye. Hasta la vista. See you in court." Yay, yay, yay. Let's take a break and come back. This is The Rob Carson Show.
Short people like Jon Stewart. Short people like Jon Stewart. Jon Stewart's got no reason to live. He's got little hands, little feet. He drives his car from a booster seat. Tobes firing has John perplexed, 'cause he knows that he is next, and I don't want little Jon Stewart. Don't need little Jon Stewart. Jon Stewart should be canceled today. Jon Stewart is so short, on his driver's license picture, you can see his shoes. His ratings are pathetically low. Nobody watches his terrible show. Stewart is a tiny little man, should run for mayor of Munchkin Land. And I don't want that runt Stewart. Don't need that stump Stewart. We don't want Jon Stewart round here.
With talent on loan from God, and have my brain tied behind my back, to be fair.
You were the sunshine of our life, Rush. That's why we'll miss you oh so much.
You know, I'm the mayor of Realville here.
You cut down liberals like a knife, Rush.
El Rushball.
Forever you'll be number one.
I am Rush Limbaugh, household name.
America needed a hero
in all 4 corners of the world.
And then you came to our rescue.
The Limbaugh Institute for Advanced Conservative Studies.
Competition, you had 0. could so much talent be inside of you?
And don't doubt it.
You were the sunshine of our life, Rush. That's why we listened every day.
That's it. It's not much more complicated than that.
You helped us get through all the strife, Rush. No one will ever take your place, because Rush was the sunshine of our life, of our life, of our life.
Meeting and surpassing all audience expectations every day behind this Golden EIB microphone.
It's the Rob Carson Show on a Friday. I just put up the QR code so you can order my Don't Catch the Stupid shirts. I saw somebody mention on social media. We have of course, we're broadcasting on all Newsmax social media, and we're number one on all the platforms, YouTube, Instagram, Rumble, X, Instagram, Rumble, X, Facebook, all of them. Anyway, you can see Don't Catch the Stupid. That's the QR code. Anyway, I was reading up here and it says, I get my Don't Catch the Stupid shirt today. So if you want to order them, they're right there. I'm not making any money off these yet. I hope to. But if you'd like to order Don't Catch the Stupid, my signature expression T-shirt there, and we got to have a bunch of other designs that are really fun as well. So I'm going to leave that up. I'm going to leave that up for this break. So if you're watching the live stream, you can get the QR code. Just turn your phone to it, and it'll automatically open, and you can order the shirt. You can order the shirt. Even XX, all of that stuff, all of that stuff. You can do that. Hey, I want to mention something. Right now, when you buy gold, you get free silver for every $5,000 purchased from Birch Gold this month in advance of Veterans Day. They will send you a free patriotic silver round, which if you're watching on social media, you can see right now. Look at how pretty that is. It's a really pretty little coin. It is a custom coin, and it celebrates the Gadsden flag and the American flag. Look at that. It's really nice. It's a 1 troy ounce. Thank you very much. By the way, silver went above $50 this week per ounce, and then gold went above $4,000. Gold went above $4,000. Why aren't you investigating gold? Do it while it's still affordable, because central banks are buying it, guys. Central banks are buying it. It's not going to go down. Gold is not going to go down. It might go down a little bit, but it ain't going to go down. It's not going to go down. So what you got to do, if you want to get the silver and you want to get the gold, you got to text my name, Rob, to 989898. Rob to 989898. They're going to send you information about gold from Birch Gold, a company that I trust. 5-star. Google reviews, A+ rating from the BBB. You're gonna love it, and you won't regret it. And I've been talking about this for a year. If you have a 401k, if you got an IRA, it's not performing. If you got a little money left in savings, what's it doing for you in savings? Nothing. So Birch Gold, here you go. Text my name, Rob, to 989898. Rob to 989898. Now, for those of you who are complaining about Donald Trump going after his political enemies, no. He's going after the B words who did this to him.
If you think I'm playing coy, you don't know me as well as you.
This is Eric Trump talking to Chris Cuomo, who's occasionally lucid, but really is an idiot.
Should.
Chris,
I'm not playing coy. I know what happened to me,
Chris,
Eric. I'm saying that
and it was
what is
horrible
happening now looks like what was done to you. That's why I'm asking the question.
Did we raid Biden's home?
Yes.
Did we try and bankrupt Biden?
Yeah.
Did they come after us? Did we weaponize every AG and DA? Against Biden? Did we do that against Hunter Biden, who had a laptop from hell, pictures of cocaine, illicit drug use, prostitution?
Yeah.
Did we do that? Did we make up a dirty dossier about Biden? Did they try and destroy Biden's marriage? Was any of that true? I mean, did we make up stories that Biden had secret servers in the basement of his home communicating with the Kremlin in Russia? Did we strip Biden off the ballot of multiple states? Did we take Biden off of Twitter and Instagram and Facebook and try and silence his voice so he couldn't communicate? Did we put Biden in a courtroom every single day? 91 felony counts that have all been overturned for my father now, right? For nonsense, to try and keep him off of a campaign trail and to try and destroy his life. Did we do any of that?
Yeah, bullcrap. To jail with all of you. And guess what? The left knows it's coming. They've been worried about it ever since. That's why they tried to kill Donald Trump twice. Not going to work anymore. So Winsome Earl Sears making some ground on Abigail Spamberger. She did a little debate with Abigail Spamberger, who is a Karen, by the way, a Karen of the ultimate, the highest order. I've been posting some memes about Karens. You got this Katie Portley in California. She is bat guano crazy Karen from hell. And Spamberger is a Karen from hell. She's a white liberal, typical busybody, wants to allow men in women's locker rooms. Here, this is a woman in Washington State. She was at the YMCA. It's fun to play at the YMCA. It's fun to stay at the YMCA, but not if your little girl's in the shower room and some pervert goes in and says, "Oh yeah, I'm non-binary." Listen to this.
I just walked into the family.
Because Abigail Spamberger is down with this.
Women's locker room with my children, and there was a grown man sitting in there by the showers. I had to double check. I had to triple check to make sure that it maybe wasn't a woman who has PCOS and lots of facial hair. No, it was a grown ass man sitting.
These are sex criminals. And Democrats, in the name of tolerance, and Karens like Abigail Spamberger, they're cool with it. They'd rather than offending someone who's non-binary. This is so easy. It's so easy to be a pedophile right now. You don't have to stand outside of the schoolhouse in the trench coat, the old cliche and all that. You don't have to become a coach or a clergy member and get close to children. All you got to do is say, "I'm non-binary," and go into the damned locker room.
Where the toilets are and where all of the bathrooms are. I instantly felt so unsafe, so uncomfortable, and thank God my children had gotten dressed before we got there. When I approached the staff, they basically told me that person identifies as non-binary, and by Washington State, they are allowed to be in whatever bathroom.
It's about time dads went in and grabbed those jackasses by the hair and dragged them out. I am not kidding. It is enough is enough is enough. It is time for dads to step in and do a beatdown. I don't even care. You cannot allow this to happen. This is Winsome Sears silencing Abigail Spamberger on stage last night.
And that's why I'm asking my opponent, if your little girl comes home and said she was forced to undress in a locker room with a biological boy, what would you say? She's crying. What would you say? Are you not going to answer?
Nothing. This is why Spamberger cannot be the governor of Virginia. You do not need a Karen in office, a white liberal Karen in office, or any color liberal Karen in office. My God, Virginia, come on. You can do better than this. Winsome Sears is an honorable woman and a great leader, and this woman, she doesn't even have the common sense to keep men out of women's locker rooms, and she hasn't even condemned Jay Jones for wanting to murder his opponent and his children. Dear Lord, it doesn't take much common sense to figure out who to vote for. Hollywood and Toto, Christian Toto next. As the weather cools, I'm swapping in the pieces that actually get the job done. Warm, durable, built to last, and Quincy delivers every time with wardrobe staples that'll carry you through the season. I call fall the great equalizer. You can put layers on. I actually like the way I look in clothes now, and Quincy has the kind of fall staples you actually want to wear on repeat, like 100% Mongolian cashmere from just $60. Classic fit denim, always good, and real leather and wool outerwear that looks sharp and holds up. I've got my eye on their suede trucker jacket. It's perfect for layering and looks really casual but put together. By partnering directly with ethical factories and top artisans, Quince cuts out the middleman to deliver premium quality at half the cost of similar brands. Layer up this fall with pieces that feel as good as they look. Go to quince.com/newsmax for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. Now available in Canada too. That's QUINCE.com/newsmax. Free shipping and 365-day returns. QUINC.com/newsmax.
Antifa. This is no different than if they announced they rounded up a dozen Decepticons. We've captured the Chupacabra, everyone. And then it was Trump's turn to ratchet up the rhetoric with fiery images conjured from no one has any idea where.
Yeah, it was really interesting. Last night I had I spent 2 hours with Andy Ngo at the Kennedy Center. I met him and I ended up hanging out with him. We ended up sitting together through this entire award ceremony. I think he would differ to say I think that somebody caused the brain bleed that nearly killed him and all of the brutal injuries that he suffered, and they were Antifa, by the way. Honestly, Jimmy Kimmel is like so many Hollywood leftists and so many Democrats. They have an addiction that's killing them, and they can't seem to stop it. His addiction is leftist politics that have killed his ratings. His numbers went up, and now they're back in the toilet. Christian Toto, Hollywood and Toto on the Newsmax Hotline. How are you, my friend?
I'm good. I enjoy talking to you, and we always have some laughs, but I have to say, I'm just furious about this. I'm just furious that this guy goes on the air and lies and lies and lies. And and listen, it's not an opinion. He's lying. Yes. Antifa is real. Yes. It exists. It hurts people. Yeah. It's hurting people. It causes damage. They physically attacked Andy Ngo. Yes. I just don't know how he gets away with it. I just don't understand it. I'm just aghast, and especially after he almost lost his job for this other lie, talking about the Charlie Kirk shooting. Shouldn't he be more careful? But he's not. He's so arrogant.
It's confounding, Christian. It really is. But honestly, who gives a rat's behind about him anymore? I mean, he has killed his own show. He came back. He had a brief comeback because people wanted to see what he had to say. And then they found out that he's so uninteresting, unfunny, and awful that he lost 71% of his audience in 1 week. He lost 71%, dude. Christian, that is... Years ago, if you lost 71% of your audience in 1 week, you'd be so done, they wouldn't even thought twice about it. But he honestly, right now, they just keep him on the network as some sort of middle finger to Donald Trump. That's it.
Listen, he's untouchable right now. He is untouchable. You can't get rid of him. He's got a contract that comes up. They're going to have to renegotiate.
Do you think they're going to keep him?
Oh, yeah.
They're not going to give him $16 billion. They're not going to give him $16 billion, Christian.
They may get creative when they restructure the contract, perhaps. But listen, what was happening at CBS with The Late Show? They were willing to lose, allegedly, reportedly, $40 million a year just to keep Stephen Colbert and the lights on. So I think these Hollywood industries, I think they're genuinely okay losing lots and lots of money. And it's always assumed that they make it up elsewhere. I mean, they're not going to just go bankrupt. Yeah. But
I'm going to disagree. I'm going to disagree. I think that we've reached a turning point. And by the way, I mentioned when Charlie Kirk was assassinated, I said it wasn't a turning point. It was the turning point. And I think we've reached the turning point. We have no more patience for this nonsense. And ABC, CBS, NBC, they cannot just exist to lose money. They're already losing all of they have no market share. There's no the only regular television viewing is for nightly news, local nightly news, and sports programming. That's it.
Well, I think you make a good point in that I don't think that they can fiscally do what they've done as easily as in the past. I think they're okay with losing money here as long as the other flow is coming in hot and heavy. But like you said, the industry is changing. It's shrinking. There are big issues as AI. There's lots of different economic forces coming down on them. So now they can't do it like they used to. They can't say, I'm just going to swallow hard, take this loss because we want to have that guy on the air. It's just unbelievable. And by the way, Kimmel just this week was backpedaling. He didn't even apologize for what he said about the Charlie Kirk situation. No. But now he's saying, the right wing took me out of context. No, he didn't. We just repeated exactly what you said. You insinuated that MAGA killed Charlie Kirk. And we knew that was a lie when you said it. It became a bigger lie after you said it, and you've never apologized. Yeah. It's maddening.
Here's the thing that gives him this sort of hubris. He sits there in front of a crowd that is a well-fluffed crowd. And I've been in that studio years and years ago. And every late night show is this. They bring a comedian and they fluff the crowd and they tell you gotta laugh, you gotta yell, and you gotta holler, you gotta laugh and all of this. I went to a Wayne Brady being taped at Disney World. He wasn't political, did the same thing, but they make sure that the audience is also politically, ideologically aligned. And that's where it's really poisonous. And so he feeds on that group of 200 people watching him and thinks that it's somehow, a metaphor for how great he's doing, when the rest of the country's going, I'm so done with this bull crap, I don't even pay attention to him anymore.
I agree and understand that. What I think my bigger frustration now is that there are many people who are on the center left who are our friends and who are sane and who just want good information. And maybe they like Jimmy Kimmel, they like his ideology, and they're watching that thinking, oh yeah, Antifa isn't a thing. Oh yeah, MAGA may have killed Charlie Kirk. I mean, they're taking that as fact because he's not even a comedian anymore. He's just basically like it's an op-ed essentially. It's like MSNBC Light. So they may believe that, oh yeah, by the way, MAGA did take down their own hero. And yeah, Antifa isn't a real thing. I just posted a story on Hollywood and Toto. I mean, it took me like 8 seconds to find all these different examples talking about Antifa and all the stuff they're up to. Not to mention Andy Ngo, the guy who literally wrote a book about this just vile organization. Now listen, you could say it's loosely based. There's no king of Antifa. But it's real, and it's terrible.
Christian, the thing is, it's diffuse, and it is funded. It's diffuse and well funded, and it is supported in every way, shape, and form by the Democrat Party because they use the same talking points. It is, as I mentioned earlier in the show, it is a civil war declared on the United States by the Democrat Party with plausible deniability. It is. And it has a body count, and it has fatalities, and it has casualties, and it has all of that, and its main goal is to bring down the United States as founded. It is a civil war with plausible deniability. That's the way it is. That's what it is.
Let's have Jimmy Kimmel invite Andy Ngo on his show. Let's have a good conversation. Wouldn't that be fascinating?
I'll tell you what, I met Andy, and I'm not name dropping, I just want to say that. I met him, and he's not a broken man. But he is a walking wounded man. I asked him about, where he lives. He lives in London because when he comes to the United States, he's afraid for his life. And you should just see him. And he's such a demure, kind person. And I sat next to him for 2 hours, and we watched this awards ceremony. At the end of the show, I said, I'm just so honored to have sat by you. And he was really taken back. He's like, really? And I said, of course. And I gave him a hug because there's a point when you're a man in your life, and you look at somebody who could be your son, and you go, what you've been through for journalism. And he wasn't even a leftist when he started. He wasn't left. He was left. I mean, but he wasn't, he wasn't, he was a journalist. And he looked at the Wall Street Journal. He looked at the New York Times with admiration. And then all of his thoughts have been shattered. All of his illusions have been shattered. And I kept telling him, I tried to tell him, I said, Andy, their crap is over, bro. You're going to come back, you're going to be here, and you're going to be in good stead. And he's not there yet. But I said, it's going to happen. It's going to happen.
Oh, it's taken its toll. It's funny, I met him several years ago, and I said almost the same thing. Yeah. That I was proud of him, that it was an honor to meet him, and I thanked him for the work he did. And by the way, if this Antifa, this whole thing that doesn't exist, who's targeting him? Yeah. Who wants him dead?
Exactly.
Is it exactly. I mean, in a way, this is actually worse than the Charlie Kirk lie for Kimmel. I mean, this is just saying it right in the open. This group doesn't exist. Well, we know they do.
Yeah, it's utterly ridiculous. It's utterly ridiculous, and they are not to be taken seriously anymore. I want to take a break here, and on the other side, we're going to do some fun. I want to talk about the TPUSA, or not TPUSA, Charlie Kirk's Turning Point USA. Yeah, Turning Point USA. Their possibility of a halftime show for Super Bowl. Also, scary movies for Halloween coming up. How's that sound?
Yeah, sounds good.
All right, let's do that next. This is the Rob Carson Show. Back in a few. Hey, guys, it's... out. Carson showed a little Van Halen, the early stuff. Oh my God, so good, so good, so good. Christian Toto, Hollywood and Toto on the Newsmax Hotline. So I saw people banning about the possibility of Lee Greenwood as halftime entertainment. No, I can't hear that song anymore. I can't hear Proud to Be an American. I can't act like it gives me goosebumps anymore. I can't hear it anymore. No, I'm done. I'm done. I love you, Greenwood. I love you, bro. Cannot hear that song anymore, Christian.
Yeah, I agree. And also, I don't want, there are great artists on the right who deserve attention. And I don't want it to always be the same 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 people. So I think for that reason.
I think Metallica, and I'm not kidding, Metallica, Foo Fighters, or Creed would be great.
Yeah, but I don't think the first two are going to do it. Definitely the Foo Fighters won't. But,
no, they won't do it. No, they won't do it. But wouldn't Metallica or Creed be great? Oh, I think Creed would be great. I mean, listen, I like Creed. Creed, hell, even Nickelback, for God's sake. No, don't say Nickelback. But, TBUSA is talking about doing their version of a halftime show. And I got to tell you, I would be game. 100% I would be game. I would turn from Bad Bunny. I'm not going to watch Bad Friggin' Bunny.
Yeah, I think there's an opportunity here to kind of showcase artists, to give someone an alternative point of view, to be pro-American. Listen, Bad Bunny is just arrogant and not super... listen, maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm too cynical, but a lot of pop culture, flashes in the pan are just that. Will we be talking about him in 10 years?
No.
I don't think so. Maybe he'll prove me wrong. Maybe he'll grow and mature, and we'll see him as an artist of consequence. But until I see that, I'm not sold.
You got the new version of Tron out. I didn't think Tron, the movie, was very good to begin with. I never liked the movie. That was boring as hell, to be quite honest.
But it was.
I never thought it was good. What? I never thought it was good. I thought it was boring. Ugh.
Well, the funny thing is that the last movie, they've only made 3. This is the newest one. The second one was, I think, 2010. Yeah. It was fine, but it wasn't a huge hit. I don't know if there's a big audience. I think there is an audience. I don't know how big it is, but this new film does dovetail into AI, which makes it interesting and of the moment.
Yeah.
And it's flashy. It looks beautiful. There are some interesting ideas there, but they're real surface level. So it's getting some horrendous reviews. I didn't find it that punishing. I thought it was watchable and fine.
Yeah.
But also the kind of movie you leave the theater and you've already forgotten about what you saw.
Kind of like Nobody 2. You know what I started watching for Halloween the other night? Again, I haven't seen it in years because I saw it. It's like Greenwood's God Bless the USA. It's Ghostbusters. Because they've never had a good Ghostbusters since Ghostbusters. And Ghostbusters is a perfect movie. It's like Die Hard. It's a perfect movie.
Yeah, it's aged beautifully too.
Oh my God, it's so good. It's still so good, and I watched that. You mentioned in Hollywood and Toto this week, Arachnophobia remains kings of the spider thrillers. I can't watch it, dude. When that scene when the 2 dead people are in their easy chairs and the mouth's open and the spider crawls out, I can't watch it.
It's funny, when that movie came out, my buddies and I said, let's go see it. And my buddy said, no, I don't like spiders. I can't.
Dude,
I can't go there. So I don't blame you.
I can't watch spider movies. And listen, I'm not, if I have a spider in the house, I will take a tissue and I will take the spider and I will take it outside. I do. Silverfish, something else. I will smash the hell out of a silverfish. But spiders, but I can't watch spider movies, dude, unless it's Spider-Man. I'm serious. And you also mentioned another movie that I cannot watch again, and that's Misery. You said that Misery is the best Stephen King adaptation. You're featuring that on the website this week. I can't watch the ankle thing. I can't do it, dude.
It is tough, but it is a great movie, and it is just a 2-person, at each other's throats in a way. It's just a wonderful film. And that was when Rob Reiner, the director, could make a great movie. He had a heck of a run back in the day. He's lost it completely, which is sad. But
it's like Stephen King's It with Tim Curry. It was a masterful movie. Tim Curry was brilliant in that movie.
Yeah.
Any other Halloween movies that you have go to that you like to go to when this time of year?
Oh, too many, but I'll mention a couple. One is The Descent, about 6 women who are spelunking in a cave and discover something a bit creepy down in those catacombs. It's my favorite sort of modern horror movie. Really? It is terrific. It is gross and scary, beautifully crafted. Also, I want to
good.
mention a tiny film called Splinter, kind of a lo-fi indie film. It's about these four people, very different, two couples in a sense, and they encounter some creature and they get locked themselves in like a 7-Eleven type store. It's the kind of movie, there's no budget, the effects are interesting and lo-fi enough to really kind of get you, but good performances, creepy stuff, and it's just one of those movies I like to tout because I don't think many people have heard of it, but it's really good.
Gotcha. You know, I've got a scary book that you should read, but I mean, you've really got to have a lot of intestinal fortitude to read this, especially this time of year. It's 100 Days by Kamala Harris. Oh my God. Oh my God. I'm not seeing this getting a screenplay and being made on the big screen anytime soon. How about you?
It'll be scary. This is the season, so if we're going to do it, this would be now.
Maybe they should put Pennywise as Kamala Harris. It'd be perfect. All right, Christian Toto, great to talk to you as always, my brother. Where can people find your podcast, by the way, and any other? Obviously, Hollywood and Toto is your site. You should make it a favorite every single day. Go ahead.
Just go to HollywoodInToto.com. You can punch in that term in YouTube, and you'll find it.
All right, Christian, have a glorious weekend. Take care. Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show. All righty, let's go to Kimberly. Mickey Hastings says, good stuff, Rob.
Sign up
Thank you.
for a dish today and get a
I liked
$500
Rob's
bonus
show.
offer
Did
while
you?
supplies
Well, you
last.
should because it's
Plus,
fun.
lock
It's a
in
good
your
show.
price
I think we're
for
having a
2
good show. I
years
think it gets better all the time.
Call All
I really do. I
American
think
Dish,
it's getting
your
better all the
dish
time.
authorized retailer now.
Joe Hiatachi. Bad Bunny agreed to get a haircut. Hair, H-A-R-E. Oh, God.
1251. That's 800-296-1251. Offers require credit qualification.
A haircut. Oh, God. Oh, God.
David was in
All
big
right,
trouble
Timothy
with the
Mosier,
IRS.
good to see you
At
there.
first,
Thanks
I
for
didn't
joining
know
me.
that much, but after this year, it was out of control.
That is
Then
funny,
David
buddy,
called
buddy, buddy.
Get a Tax Lawyer.
Let's
Right
see,
away, they were like,
over
oh, yeah,
on the
looks like
Rumbly
you're
Roo,
qualified to sue.
Round the Pony.
Get a tax
I Can Do
lawyer.
Hocus Pocus. Yeah, that's
To
a cute
work.
movie.
Should've
Casper,
called
pretty
way
good
sooner.
movie.
Get
Hotel
a Tax
Transylvania,
Lawyer has
no.
helped thousands
Abbott
like
and
David
Costello
fight
Meet
the
Frankenstein,
IRS
yeah.
and get a
Yeah,
fresh
Abbott and
start.
Costello
Call
Meet. Those are such goofy movies. Oh, my God.
That's
Such goofy movies.
800-745-3070.
Attention,
All White is watching on Facebook. Hello. Prani Uprachat says, okay, I've declared it's Freaky Friday. Is it because you listen to my show?
Withdrawal restrictions and no personalized advice.
Have other retirement
Let's see,
plans?
Jellyfish
We can help
Hunter,
with
good to
those
see you
too.
there.
Greben Wealth Management offers a full
A
array
lot of people watching
financial
over on the
services.
Twitter feed as well. I hope you're enjoying the show. Like I said, it's just I'm having fun. I hope you're having fun, and we're way ahead of everybody on everything, and we're also doing comedy, which is enormously important. All right, what do we got here? Let me see what I'm going to cover before I get off the air.
Of your favorite shows live or on demand. Listen on AM 680, 99.9 FM in Harford County, WCBM.com, and the WCBM.
No, here we go. All right, we're going to come back here.
Siri or Google.
Here we go.
WCBM. Make the right choice. Talk Radio 680 WCBM and
Here we go.
99.9 FM in Harford County.
Led Zeppelin. Come on, crank it up, Michelle. Not my favorite song by Led Zeppelin. It's certainly a great song by Led Zeppelin. Here's Abigail Spamberger and Winsome Sears, their debate last night.
Thank you, Ms. Spamberger. I didn't hear an answer there on the endorsement issue, so I want to just...
She was being asked about the endorsement of Jay Jones after he fantasized about murdering the Speaker of the House in Virginia and his family a couple years, 3 years ago, using the same language the Democrat Party is using now and has been inscribed on shell casings for people who were murdered, like Charlie Kirk, and also in manifestos of radical leftists. That's the language that Jay Jones used, and he wants to be the AG for the state. Fortunately, now he's 2 points behind Jason Miyares.
Make sure, will you continue to endorse Jay Jones to be the next Attorney General of Virginia? And were you aware of these text messages before they released? You have 30 seconds.
In fact, it appears that it was those who released the text messages and held them for years. So the public was unaware who had knowledge of these text messages for many hours.
What did you do about it?
I learned of these text messages the day that they came out, and I denounced them as soon as...
You cannot have the AG of a state fantasizing about the murder of a political opponent and his children. Are you out of your freaking mind? Some of the most terrifying consequences of a government shutdown. Here they are. That department you've never heard of or that does nothing for you will be furrowed. Government workers will lose thousands of hours of sleep they would otherwise be getting at work. Rand Paul will be intolerably giddy. This is the Babylon Bee. AOC will have to go back to bartending, but she doesn't know how to make a rum and coke. What's in that? What's a gin and tonic? What is that? I don't know. Is that got ice cream in it? Instead of shopping online while working from home, government employees will have to shop online while furloughed at home, and no one will be able to unlock the restrooms at Yosemite National Park. There you go. Hey, by the way, this weekend's Rob Carson's What the World is absolutely hilarious. We got two new segments on the show. One is What You Missed Last Week, and another one is Carson's Wine Cellar, W-H-I-N-E, Carson's Wine Cellar, and we feature two wines this week, and I give them sour grape scores. I know it's ironic because I don't drink anymore, but it's funny. So two new features on Rob Carson's What the World. It airs on Newsmax Sunday nights. It's only airing once. It needs to air much more, and it needs to be longer. We're working on that. But if you watch Michael Savage on Sunday, my show follows that. It's Rob Carson's What in the World. Donald Trump says it makes me the funniest guy on TV. There you go. Follow me this weekend on social media. I'll be posting all sorts of things. I'm getting out into Pennsylvania and whatnot, and I'm gonna do some some cooking and whatnot. I'll share that too. All social media at Rob Carson Show generally. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, even, for crying out loud. You see videos from the show as well. Have a glorious weekend. God bless America, as founded Donald Trump, and the great job he is doing. You and your families, by the way. And until Monday, do not catch the stupid. I'll see you then. Love you guys.
See you, Rob.
Information. Truth is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.